Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Shutterfly. If you're like us, you take a lot of pictures because you have a camera right in your hand all the time. How would you not take a lot of pictures? And we're taking all these pictures, more than we've ever taken in the history of the world.
What are you going to do with them all?
That's the thing. You used to get a solid picture, and then you'd look through them, and you could enjoy them. Now they're like back on your camera roll. You can't even find them. You don't want that. That's why the cool thing you need to do, and what I did, and I think it's pretty cool, is create a Shutterfly photo book.
Oh.
What I did, and you're going to enjoy this, Jimmy, because I haven't showed this to you yet, but took all of our pictures from being on tour this year.
Oh.
All live show pictures, us backstage, us on stage, doing all that stuff, and like some of the, just the venues and things, and made a little photo book out of that. Also, they have free 24-hour designer service as well. With their 24-hour designer service, a professional designer is going to lay out the book for you for free in just a day. Make something that means something with Shutterfly. Enjoy 40% off orders over $29 with promo code SMALLTOWN. See site for promotional details.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Wondery.
This week, we look at Stillwater, New York, where murder and karma come together to make a really weird story. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another wild, crazy, insane, panhandly edition of Small Town Murder.
Twisty one.
Twisty. This one, guys, we're telling you right now. So we've said it before, and we never lie when we say this.
That's right.
Do not turn this off until it's completely over. Until we're like, that is the promise you the end of the story. What that bang was, by the way, was thank you, everybody. The one episode a few episodes ago where there was 107 dildos. Someone has sent us a dildo that we do not want, but so we stuck it up on top of a shelf and it just fell over. So that's what that was.
That's why we don't want them.
That's why we don't want them. They crash all over the studio.
We have one and it's attacking us.
It's forget about it.
We don't need 107.
It's already a problem and interrupting the show. So with that said, do not turn this episode off. We also have to thank everyone this week for all of everything you've done for us, your reviews, Apple Podcasts, that purple icon. They help a lot. We don't know why. We have no idea why, but that funky algorithm, it eats reviews. It needs reviews to survive. You have to feed it reviews. Yeah, because we have one to give it. So, unfortunately, it does not. So they help a lot. Thank you very much for those. Also on Stitcher, they help a lot as well. Head over more than ever now to shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your small town murder, all of your crime and sports needs as well. Listen to Crime and Sports if you haven't. If you like a murder story, this week is for you. Check out Crime and Sports there. But most of all, because tickets are going on sale. My goodness, they're going on sale. If you're listening today, when the day it comes out on Thursday, this is pre-sale day. So you can get your tickets at 10 a.m., whatever your local time is. Your tickets will go on sale at 10 a.m. there. And head over to shutupandgivememurder.com or at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram to get the promo code.
There you go.
So you can get in there and get those pre-sale tickets. Regular on-sale tickets go on sale Friday, tomorrow, December the 13th. So those are on sale. So if you try to go on the 12th and it says sold out, that's just the pre-sale amount. They release a little bit for a pre-sale, VIPs and stuff like that. So you can get those tickets there. Full slate. And at the end of the show, after the crazy twisty ending of the show, we'll give you the full rundown of dates of where we are. We gave you the cities last time. We're going to give you the dates of when we're actually going to be there and locations and all that sort of thing. So you can get that at the end of the show, and that is a good time there. Also want to thank everybody for everything, your donations this week, and we will praise you at the end of the show with our list of producers that will scream from the rooftops about how wonderful you are. Thank you, everybody. And if you want to become one of these wonderful producers, it's very easy to do. You can do that over at patreon.com/crimeinsports or head over to PayPal and use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. And every damn dime is appreciated, as always. We are blown away by everything everybody does. So thank you so much. And thank you to everybody that came out on the 2019 tour. We just wrapped that up in Chicago with just a great show there. Those guys, we love Chicago. We really do. Milwaukee was a lot of fun too. In Chicago, that was our fourth time there. So that was our original test city to do a first live show. And we've stuck with them.
Fourth time or fourth show?
Fourth time there.
No
it was our
kidding?
fourth time in the city.
We did
we did
Hall.
5 shows.
Wow.
We've done 5 shows and 4 trips to the wonderful
Hall,
Windy City.
The Vic, Athenaeum.
And Park West.
And Park West. Holy
4
shit.
different venues. They're all great. We love everything. But every venue's been good in Chicago.
Yeah.
And that's how awesome Chicago is. We haven't had a bad experience yet. We love it. And we'll be back there next year.
We haven't had a
find
show
out
there.
when at the end of the show.
We haven't had a show there that wasn't sold out.
Absolutely not.
Chicago, you are so good to us.
They're the best to us. Thank you so much, Chicago. And we have to do the disclaimer quickly. This is a comedy show, of course. We are comedians. It's a comedy podcast. We're going to make jokes. That's the thing. Murders will happen. People will die. It's called Small Town Murder. Try to keep the jokes in the realm of small towns, idiots in the story, murderers, things like that. We go out of our way. We try not to make fun of the victims or the victims' families because we're assholes. But we're not scumbags. There you go. That's how we work this thing. So if you don't think that's okay, if you think that murder and jokes and they should never even be in the same realm, I don't know what wonderful angelic planet you dropped off of. But you know what? Good for you. Good for you. Keep yourself all wrapped up in your tissue paper, and you should. That's great. I'm good for you. Your psyche is pure, and we're happy for you. But there you go. You can have a good one. It's bad first date.
That angelic planet.
Have a good one and unsubscribe. But for everybody else that wants to just have a good time and hear a crazy story, I think it's time. I think it's time to sit back and shout, "Shut up and give me murder!" Let's do this, Jimmy.
I cannot wait.
Let's go on a trip.
All right.
What do you say? We're down in Florida last week.
It was weird.
Muggy.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Mucky.
Muggy. We were too. That was like rural. People were saying people were sending us messages going, I've lived in Orlando my entire life and I didn't know that place existed. And it's 40 minutes from me and it's a complete shithole. Like they were saying that's how terrible it is. That it's right there and we don't even notice it. So that's a bad sign. So we're going to head up this time up to New York. We'll make fun of New York, which I always have a special, extra gusto for mocking my home state. I love it. I love it. So that's why anybody gets mad if we piss on wherever you're from. Don't, because I take no more joy in anything than in making fun of where I'm from. Trust me. It tickles me, as I hope it tickles you when we pick on you. Let's head to New York. We're going to Stillwater, New York. This is up the Hudson River. You start at New York City and go straight. That's the Hudson River. There's a line that kind of goes straight up there, kind of along the border parallel to it all the way to Canada there.
Sure.
That is the Hudson River. This is off the Hudson River near Albany, which is upstate New York, a couple hours from the city.
Where disease is bred.
Oh, Stillwater. Yeah. That's what you want. Mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, muck. More muck. Out of the muck and into the muck. Here we are. This place, it's upstate New York.
Yeah.
It's in like the northeastern part of the state, kind of. It's close to Canada, way closer to Canada than New York City. So put it that way. That's the thing people don't recognize about New York. And we might have touched on this a little bit when we did our first New York episode, but since then we've only done, I think, one on Long Island. And we've kind of been more in kind of populated New York or whatever, but like upstate New York, people think of New York, they think New York City, but like Western New York and, far upstate New York, that's West Virginia. That's what it is. Yeah. That Western Pennsylvania, kind of the mountains are there, Scranton, that's all West Virginia, New York, and Pennsylvania. Anyone from anywhere civilized goes, oh yeah, you don't want to go over there. So that's what you have to understand.
Those mountain people.
Yeah, right away. This isn't mountain people, but it's still up there.
Okay.
If you'll live right near Albany, you got to question your sanity. You know what I mean? And that's what it comes down to. If you live in a terrible place, you have to question someone's sanity for not leaving. They're free to leave at any point.
Who's doing this?
There's no fence around it.
Right.
So we go certain places and we're like, there is no fence around Omaha, guys. It's just wide open spaces. You could fucking walk hundreds of miles away from here. Yeah. You could walk to Denver from here.
You can almost see it.
Just keep walking. Go ahead, because it's going to get better if you keep going that way. Or the other way. Just get out of here. This is the bad spot. It's bad when you say, why do you live here? And everyone goes, it's pretty cheap. You go, yeah, that means it sucks. No one else wants it. Right. That's a good thing. So this is up in Saratoga County up there. It is about 3 hours and 5 minutes down to New York City.
It's a distance.
So, yeah, it's a distance. It's all the way down the river. It's about 4.5 hours if you want to make a lateral movement, figuratively and geographically. Geographically.
I like that word better.
I think geographically is a better word. I think we just coined a thing. Geographically. Wow.
With a V.
With a V, geographically.
That's very funny.
There you go. Perfect. So, yes, both spiritually and geographically, a parallel movement. Or you can go 3 hours and 5 minutes to Boston as well. So it's in between everything. It's at the top of that. You can see those
equidistant from New York to Boston.
To Boston, yeah, pretty much. So that's how that works. Zip code 12170, area code 518. It's a big area around here. There's still some like bigger properties and things like that. It's about 43 square miles. Which is it's a lot up there. But New York State, upstate New York, one thing they're not hurting for is just land. There's a shitload of it. If you just drive out there, you're just like, there's nothing dude, New York is so open and the
city needs so much more.
If you look at the city, you're like, wow, it's so crowded. It's because there's nothing else there. It's all just like, it's all drifted down to the bottom and sifted to there.
Everybody's inhabiting the most inhabitable.
Oh, yeah, it's freezing cold.
Yeah.
Like if you drive to the Baseball Hall of Fame from anywhere, and Cooperstown's in the middle of nowhere. It's not like you hear Cooperstown, New York. Oh, it must be outside the city or on Long Island or something. Nope.
No.
It is in the fucking middle of nowhere. It's like 4 hours, like from where I was from, south of Poughkeepsie. It's like 4 hours. I don't even know.
Feels like some genius probably that lives in Cooperstown was like, you know what we could use? Something to get people here.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's still one street and a Hall of Fame and 3 pizza places and a bunch of memorabilia stores, and that's the whole town.
It's like Canton, Ohio.
It's friggin' weird, man. It's a weird place, but the Hall of Fame's awesome. Has nothing to do with Stillwater, though. Motto of this town, turning point of the American Revolution.
Okay.
That's pretty, taking a lot of credit there.
I suppose. I didn't even know we were losing at one point.
We were.
Obviously.
A bunch of farmers and they're not even in uniform. Do you think they dominated from the start? Launched a shock and awe campaign of pelting the British with vegetables. I don't know.
I don't know if you paid attention in history class, which I didn't.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. I think.
It seemed like they were just telling us that we just throttled them the whole time.
It was a buzzer to buzzer.
Yeah. From coin flip to fucking shotgun.
Right from the tip off, man. We took it in for a layup, and it was all business from then on.
Apparently,
never lost a lead.
There was a game 5 where we were behind for a minute.
We'll talk about Battle of Saratoga. Okay. That's where it comes from. I found an alternate. This is like the underground motto. The people know it, but it's not advertised.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not that Not that.
A little more pride in this one.
Well, no, this is the real thing. This is the straight dope as opposed to the other bullshit. This is like on the sly. You're like, hey, man. And it is, quote, you're almost to Canada, a little further.
Yeah.
You can make it.
That makes
So,
more
yeah,
sense.
that's better. Free healthcare. It's right there.
Yeah.
It's freezing here anyway. Just go another hour.
Right.
What's the difference at this point?
Cross that big water.
Yeah, history here. They're obsessed with this. They have this block house, and you go, what's a block house? Exactly what it sounds like. A block that's a house.
Oh.
Picture a square block made of railroad ties.
Right.
So everything is very square.
Very square.
And it is a square house.
Symmetrical.
Block house.
Everywhere.
That's all it is. Very proud of this.
Yeah.
It's not even in the original block house that they have in town. It's a replica.
Wait.
Yeah, okay. It was a guy named Peter Schuyler in 1709 built Fort Inglesby in town, and then they ended up making a replica of that fort, which is the blockhouse.
And we're proud of this.
And they put it in the middle of town, and that's where they hold all their events.
Wow.
They have like a concert on the 4th of July. It's going to be in the yard of the blockhouse.
Jesus.
And it's not even huge. Like you'd think, it must be enormous. It's like the size of a regular 2-story house, maybe a little less wide,
right.
and just square, like a Lego. Like you made it from Legos. It's super weird.
Let's all just place all of our pride in this shit.
Oh my
God. And it's a replica. It's not even the real one.
Not even the real one. This one, well, we got railroad ties. We can just do that.
If we leveled the White House and built a replica, nobody's going.
No.
Especially if nobody lives in that.
That's what I'm saying. See, you know what I love about making fun of upstate New York?
Yeah.
I can do both my Guinea accent and my hillbilly accent at the same time, and it's fun. And it works. It works either way. It's fucking perfect. I love upstate New York for this very reason. So, a lot of participants of the Revolutionary War in this town because it was happening around here. So it's kind of like one of those cat brawls on Heathcliff. Or it's just rolling a big thing of rolling dust, and whatever's in its way is going to get caught up in it. And they're
asterisks as it goes. Yeah,
they're going to be, you know how it works. So that's what happened here. Battle of Saratoga, or the Battles of Saratoga, took place on September 19th and October 7th, 1777. Okay. They took a couple of weeks off. It was 2 battles. They took one then, and they were like, you know what? It's late spring. It's late.
Get a breather.
It's late summer. We're having a nice, it's one of those nice late summers.
Real close. We don't know who to get the Gatorade bath to.
It's been in the early 70s. What do you say we all just relax and enjoy this for a while? And then once the weather breaks, we'll start fighting again. But for now, I mean, these sunsets are gorgeous.
Halftime.
It's halftime, right? It's big tea.
Yeah.
Let's put up the tea. What do you say here? Everybody go to the blockhouse for some slush puppies, and it's going to be beautiful. Snow cones and slush puppies. Sit around with the sparklers and let it fly.
Like that.
That's why not? You can fight during the day, and then afterwards,
let the kiddies have a good time.
Let's go. Yeah, everybody just hang out together. So that's how it didn't work. So it was their general, British general, was John Burgoyne. Burgoyne. I don't know how the hell you say that. Burgoyne. I'm going to go with Burgoyne. This guy here was a British Army officer and dramatist.
Oh,
so. Yeah. You let your playwrights lead army?
I suppose.
I wonder why they lost. That's weird. You see his picture. He's wearing like 6 doilies. Perfect. He's got a doily on each wrist, a doily around his neck.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a guy that you'd be scared of, basically. No, it looks like he looks like a dramatist. Like he had the best costumed outfit, probably. Everyone was very well put together, theatrical. Everything was perfect. Boots and cuffs.
Just sounds like an arguing ex-wife.
It's
same thing.
Making drama.
Right.
Yeah,
they'll always lose.
Yeah. He just lines up in front of him. Okay, we're looking wonderful, and sweep, and just sends them all into battle. They're like, okay, we're running this way. And shockingly, they lost that fight, as a matter of fact here. He found himself trapped by superior American forces with no relief. And I'm not going to lie, kind of liked it.
He was into it.
He's like, these brutes are bearing down on me, and I'm not against it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little turned on. I'm not going to lie.
God, this is
we'll see how it goes after this. But for right now, the tension's pretty, whatever. So he's into it. So this was the great turning point of the American War, is what they say, because this battle turned it around to make other foreign powers recognized that the U.S. wasn't fucking around.
Oh, is that right?
Before that, yeah, they were just, Britain's little colony is revolting, whatever. And then once we won a huge battle like this, they went, that might be a country that we should maybe be friends with. Maybe we should start looking at, maybe we should be on their side. Yeah. Maybe we can fuck the British over and get on their side. And, so that's how it started working. And that was big time helpful for us there. Yeah. This was 2 small battles, like we said. And, that's how it works. They ended up working it all out. Apparently, they have they're into the historical thing in this town. They keep a lot of the Victorian houses and shit like that. They have a library that's in the the Stillwater United Church is on the National Register of Historic Places. The church is, yeah. In 1824, there was more sheep than people.
That's interesting.
So you can read into that. Whatever you like here. I don't know. In 1860, local farms produced 102,000 pounds of butter.
In what year?
1860.
It seems
pre-Civil War. That seems like a lot of butter, but I'm not sure.
What do you do with that?
I don't know.
From 2 Paula Deen episodes.
Yeah, I was going to say Guy Fieri ingests that in I don't know, 3 stops. I feel like he's got that in his system.
That's his breakfast.
Running through his system. He drops that in the toilet in the morning, 102,000 pounds of butter. It's called dropping a little guy. It's even golden like his hair.
Leaving a guy behind.
It's got a golden top to it even because it's so much butter. Jesus Christ. Gross. A spiky golden Guy Fieri turd.
Spiky golden
Guy Fieri turd.
Guy Fieri butter turd.
Butter turd. Thank you. I don't know what I was thinking there. The butter turd business.
God, it's so gross.
It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Hope you're not eating breakfast or lunch. And if you are, you know what? You're kind of interested still. You're like, it's not bad.
Yeah.
So 1875, by then there was a lot of fires. As the late 1800s, as we've talked, it's just everything was on fire constantly. They made everything out of wood. Everything was heated with open flames and it was a bad
Everything's heated with open flames, and then everything's made with open flames.
Open flames and coal and everything's embers
Smelting
everywhere.
pots.
They're smelting. It's just fire. So in 1875, they got a hand-operated fire engine, which it's just this big tank with tubes and shit coming off it that there's a picture of like a 90-year-old man standing next to it, who I assume is the first sexy fireman.
He's got to run a crank to operate this thing?
Well, back then the only problem was the whole calendar was just him.
Yeah.
It was just like, he's kind of hunched over. He's like, I'm going to straighten out for this one. He was like 100, this guy.
Different poses of him being exhausted from operating a fire.
Jesus. And a picture of his calluses on his hands. Just terrible.
Tennis elbow and bad shoulder.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck. Notable people from here. We have Abigail Fillmore, who was maybe born here. They're not sure. They're guessing.
Nobody else is claiming her. We'll take her.
Who the fuck knows? I guess, you know what? What was it? Who's gonna argue with that? She's the wife of Millard Fillmore, President Millard Fillmore. But that's so like the wife of Millard Fillmore, who's like a 3rd-tier president anyway.
I think you could probably claim Fillmore's wife, Pierce's wife, maybe Polk's wife.
Yeah,
nobody knows what they look like.
He didn't have one.
Oh, he didn't?
No, James Buchanan was gay as shit.
What? Oh, well, that would explain it.
James Buchanan was super gay.
Okay.
That's fine and all, but I mean, his niece was his, quote, White House social director. So he just had
I like it.
He's gay as shit, James Buchanan, which that's fine. I don't give a shit. But it's
not
just,
a handsome guy.
It's just interesting that people are, make a big deal out of people's any sort of sexual dalliances and things like that. And they're like, maybe Lincoln was gay. Maybe this one was gay. It was like, Buchanan was gay before any of those
Long
people.
before.
And I'm sure someone else was gay before that. So don't worry about it. Yeah, no.
Statistically, it had to be.
Someone's someone's in there is gay.
45
you know
of these
what?
dicks.
Didn't matter, did it? You didn't know about it, did you?
Didn't change a thing.
He wasn't fucking anybody on the White House lawn. Hey, watch this.
You guys voted for it.
Right across the Potomac, motherfucker. That's not. No one said that. That never happened. It didn't matter. Didn't matter one fucking bit either way.
Just railing dudes in Arlington.
That's all it is. I have a resident review of this place now. It's succinct. We'll say that. It is, quote, hi. That's polite.
Yeah.
Hi, this place is outstandingly awful.
It's a good start.
That's the whole review. 1 star.
It's a damn good start
Hi.
to an excellent letter.
It is.
With examples and all that
Well,
shit.
it's an opener.
Then he stops.
If he's the highest place, let me tell you why, and then run it. But he just says, that's all you need to know. Just stay away. Not even worth my time.
You need examples?
There wasn't even punctuation between hi and this. It was just, hi, this place is outstandingly awful, all in one. Not even capital letters.
Is there a period?
This place isn't worth shifting for. I won't press shift for this fucking place. I will not.
Yeah.
People in this town, population 8,585, which is up 19% since 1990. That's just since New York City got expensive and people fled upstate. That's how, and Boston too. If it's 3 hours from there, people fled inland. That's how it works. So median age here is about 43 and a half, which is a little older. It's usually 37 and a half. All the young demos are low. All the old demographics are high.
Okay.
Not as many kids, shitload of old people.
All right.
That's how it works here. People stay here for some odd reason. And the people here are settled down.
Yeah.
It's a settled down kind of place. They live here. They work in Albany, which is close by.
Sure.
The capital of New York, so there's a lot of jobs there. There's 65% of the people here are married. It's normally 50-50. So, yeah, it's a very, not a real party town, I would say, if you want to put it that way. Only 6% are married with no children. So that's that. Jesus, race of this town, 94% white.
Wow.
It's a pretty white.
Yeah.
That's 1.5% black, 1% Asian, 2% Hispanic.
Yeah.
So that's white.
Yeah.
You
They're
could
going hard on it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, basically, if you put it all into a computer program and got a composite of the average citizen, it's just Wilford Brimley standing there with a spoonful of Quaker Oats in one hand and a Liberty Medical package in the other. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
Just that. Religion in this town, about 40% are religious, so that's a little lower than normal. It's usually 50-50, but you're still going to get your upstate New York. 25% Catholic. Yeah. As we know, Catholics are the Baptists of the North, as we all know there. 0.4% Jewish, so not even a lot of Jewish people up there. That's surprising, honestly.
New York,
it's
interesting.
Yeah, so it's I guess that this gets filtered less and less as the more northward you go.
As the eyes get closer together.
Yeah. You're like, I don't think so. Back to Long Island, I think. Back to Massapequa. This is ridiculous. These people are fucking inbred. So 44% in this county, 44% Democrat, 47% Republican, 7.5% independent in the last election. It's close to Vermont, so there's a little more independent streak if you live up here in the woods. Unemployment here, usually right now it's a little under 4. It's about average here. Same thing, a little under 4%. Median household income, though, usual in the United States, median income is $57,000. Here it's almost $79,000.
Wow.
So a few extra bucks.
Yeah.
Cost of living, 100 is regular, average. Here it's 106.
Okay.
So not that much higher. Median home cost is $225,000.
Okay.
So that's not terrible for New York. It's up way the fuck up there, but still, it's not the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's definitely affordable with $76,000 median.
That's what I mean. So that median, and you're okay there. So, and if we've convinced you, damn it, there's nowhere else that you can go but upstate New York. We have for you the Stillwater, New York Real Estate Report. Your average 2-bedroom rental here, I found, is about $1,390, which is a little over the national average. We're kind of on pace with the
market,
the market for there. I found a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. This place is a shithole. 1,463 square feet. This is from the listing. This is a great investment property. Needs some TLC. That's an understatement. It is a disaster. Half of it's missing. $84,900 though. So, it's cheap.
Yeah.
I found a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,574 square foot. They say in the listing, cute as a button, wood floors throughout.
Right.
That's about the only feature that you want to talk about. It also has droopy ceiling fans.
Great.
Like the hanging droopy.
The sad ones.
The sad ones where you go, bad things have happened here. Ceiling fans droop when bad things happen.
Either it's been really hot or really wet in
Not
here.
good. 139,950 there. Then I found this big, it's an equestrian property. 43 square acres, 43 acres here, 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,200 square feet, $1.29 million. So a little pricey. So, yeah.
You've made $1 million and you're going to move there?
Well, I guess if you're really into horses and you want to, like, you know, have a
45 acres?
45 acres, capital district, some kind of state lobbyist, maybe.
There you go.
That's some sort of, maybe, I have no idea.
Passing laws for some
also,
lobbyist.
this is a weekend thing. Okay. Anything within 3-4 hours of New York City is weekend shit for rich New Yorkers. People with hedge fund managers and shit. They have giant places out on Long Island, upstate, over here, Westchester. That's where they spend their weekends and summers and shit.
People recognize you there as king shit.
Yeah, you send your wife, or really mostly just your nanny and your kids up there for the summer. You know,
ride the horses.
We'll ride the horses and fuck around. And then, you know, you visit once in a while.
Go run this town.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Dad has the biggest house there.
So things to do in this town. I found the Blockhouse Independence Day celebration, where they will have a reading of the Declaration of Independence by the 13th Regiment of the Albany Militia, which sounds a little
frightening.
That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, I believe
there are 13 of those.
Apparently so. 13th. Hopefully, it's people pretending to like dress up and be. They have like, you know,
they do it
period garb.
Yeah.
No, hopefully they're like 1770s garb, like Battle of Saratoga. Hopefully, it's not like guys like, this is the 13th Albany Militia. God damn it, and we're going to declare our independence. You don't want that.
In a sleeveless AC/DC shirt.
Yeah, you want people with like bad sort of old timey British accents and like a wig on, trying to, you know, dress like an old farmer that wears patent leather shoes and high socks.
There you go.
One of those here. So I also found the Summer Concert Series, which is exciting.
They got a summer concert.
Oh, yeah.
Series.
Mostly at the Blockhouse. There will be a little bit at the American Legion post 490, though, because we can't leave that out of it, of course. But at the Blockhouse, they have one night, this was on August 9th. This is passed by already this year. I apologize. But August 9th, they had the legend, Al Bruno. Al fucking Bruno. The legend, ellipses Al Bruno is how they put it right here. Performing at the Blockhouse, rain or shine, because all legends perform in the rain. So
he's a goddamn rock star.
You got to see this guy. I looked up his website, right? And it says he made it in 1997, hasn't touched it since. It's obvious. It says, quote, "Welcome to the webpage of Al Bruno," which is pretty.
The webpage.
The webpage of Al Bruno. I had a kid design it for me. Nice to see you. He doesn't say that, but it says Al's an entertainer in the Capital District, Albany there. He has been performing for the last 25 years. Before singing solo, he was the lead singer in the Blue Light Special Band.
Fuck yeah.
And Al, you got to see him, though. He's one of these smooth, olive oily fucking old guineas. He looks like, he'll hit on a 19-year-old girl with not a touch of trepidation whatsoever. He'll just think, this works.
He'll go after grandma.
I'll go after grandma, ma, both of them at the same. Hey, if I can't get granddaughter, I think I could probably get ma and grandma at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Give you an elbow. Oh, he's got hair. He looks like he's like GoBot Frankie Avalon.
Hell yeah.
That's what he is. Knock off Frankie Avalon. He's got this hair. He's got this like sparkly shirt. It's like a pirate shirt sprayed in red sparkly. It looks like it's crazy.
Chest open.
Yeah, I did. So I had to do, me. I'm curious about shit. So I did a little bit of research. I found out, strange fact, when Al Bruno does a concert in a town, that town's pregnancy rate goes up 200%. He's a fucking animal. Watch out for Al Bruno.
Did they say the ages? Is it teenage pregnancy?
It doesn't matter. All ages. It was record setting.
Yeah.
He'll knock grandma up. He doesn't care.
Crosses generational
I don't care if you went through menopause 40 years ago, sweetheart. I'm going to put one in you. And you're like, wow. Once Al Bruno says he's going to, quote, put one in you, you're as good as having one in you. Let's just put it that way.
Fantastic.
He's impregnated men, Jimmy. It doesn't matter. He's virile.
Does that change geographizationally?
Maybe. It's possible. All sorts of geographicalizations. I think I made a better word. So, crime rate.
Okay.
In this town. What we're interested in here. Property crime is under 1/3 of the national average.
Oh.
So it's very, very low.
Yeah.
And violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and of course assault, the Mount Rushmore of crime, is about 1/4 of the national average.
Super safe place.
It's a safe little family place where old people live and people with families, and it's quiet, and it's not a lot of of eventful shit going on. It's people that, they work 40 minutes away or whatever. They live here, quiet, nice place. So that said, let's talk about a murder.
Okay.
I think that's what you have to do in a nice, quiet place. Destroy it.
It has happened here.
It's happened.
Yeah.
And this was a particularly interesting one.
Okay.
And we're going to start back on February 18th of the year 2000.
Okay.
So we're going to go back in time a little bit here. This is almost 20 years now.
That's
wow.
a bit.
We are 2 months away from this being 20 years ago.
We are 2 years away from the 20th anniversary of 9/11.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is insane. So, isn't that weird?
That's bananas.
It doesn't seem as long because everything's the same kind of. There was the internet then, there's the internet now.
Right.
When we were like in 1990, 1970 seemed like
forever ago.
Because like the pictures were still sort of not even all that great color.
They were different size, James.
But I mean, like they show a picture and it didn't have the right coloring. It was like from a different
like an
time.
Orange hue to it.
It looks sort of black and whitish still. It was,
moreover, like the 70s picture had rounded edges. Like in the 80s, they were like square, rectangle, and they were so much bigger. Looking at that picture from the 70s being that weird orange hue and the round edges, you're just like, what the fuck camera took that?
You look at that and go, Richard Nixon was the president? That's crazy. Look at that guy. Really? Wow. Like, that's fucking insane.
Such
People
a
voted
weird
for
time.
that guy. Like, what a weird...
But you look at a picture today from 2001, and it looks the same as today's
It looks
stuff.
exactly, that's what I mean.
Same
Everything
technology.
looks exactly the same. It is.
Weird.
It's pretty much the same thing. The video's a little sharper is all it is. But it's still, people with the same shit in the internet. And,
but if you look at the fashion, like you look at the pictures of the women and men running from the trade center, which is a shit horrible thing to look at.
They're just a little baggier.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
It's a strange thing though. It's
the clothes are exactly the same, slightly baggier.
Right.
That's all we've done.
Different cut.
We've tightened shit up slightly in 20 years. There's been no change in fashion. It really hasn't.
Yeah.
Everyone's a haircut from 2000. Just look at a normal dude's haircut. It's the same one now.
Today.
Same exact now.
Yeah.
Whereas like 1980 to 2000, completely different.
Holy shit.
Completely
May as well be
different.
1700.
It's what I mean. You might as well have a wig on, a giant white wig with fucking curly things and shit. It's...
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked, God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well.
Right.
And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, it's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure, yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here. Based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information.
Crazy. So let's talk about this. So February 18, 2000, though, it's a cold day. Yeah. It is cold up here in this part of the area here because, like I said, I'm from a little less than an hour from New York City up north of that, and this is 2 hours north of me.
Right.
That's cold. Like, you don't want to go up there. It's anything north of me, I always say, is like, that's too cold. Yeah. It's when shit gets crazy because we're in a valley and then it goes up and then it gets cold.
Yeah.
So it's no good. So it's a cold day. It's starting to snow out, getting toward the evening. There's two police officers walking around. There's a state police officer and a town police officer. Okay. And they're both checking this out. They want to check this location out before it gets dark because they know it's supposed to snow heavy that night, and they're looking for something specific that they might not find.
They got a tip?
If there's snow on the ground. Okay. Well, we'll talk about how they got there in a little while. But they're walking around, and this is where this is one of those things where we always say, like, there's a lot of money wasted in the system here and there, obviously, there's always things that could be tightened up.
You can cut some corners. Well, one of the things I think maybe could be cut a little bit on the corners is police officers' very specific descriptions of everything. Yeah. When it's common sense, we don't need a whole. This is directly from the police report. Yeah. This is just where they were. Never mind what they found. Quote, a combination of both fields and wooded areas with a stream. The woods. Like the woods, you mean? Right. If he said we were in the woods, you'd go, oh yeah, combination of both fielded and wooded areas with a stream, right? Yeah, I get that. It's the woods. You picture. I've seen Bambi.
Do you not picture exactly that when you hear the woods? That's why we have the word the woods, so you don't have to say all those fucking words.
If you said vast, empty area with sand and some brush. The desert.
Like the desert.
Right.
Exactly. Beige. Right. Very beige. You're done with the descriptors. We get it. That's what I mean. It's too much. So I understand that's what they have to do, but maybe we can make them not have to do it. We can put that down from the top. Hey guys, if you're in the woods, just say you're in the woods.
Right. A big sandbar-ish area where waves and water meet. You mean the beach?
The beach. Like an estuary between the land and the water, kind of like where they come together.
Where families like to go
and part underwater.
Spend the afternoon.
Umbrellas and things like that. Umbrellas and children and balls. Big inflatable ones. Right. Beach balls.
Beach balls.
Is there a court in the land that would not understand the term woods?
No.
Where were they? Case dismissed.
Is far too vague.
Case dismissed. We don't know where they were.
How dare you waste our time with this?
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to fucking happen. It's ridiculous. So about 100 yards from the road, they find something. Uh-huh. They find what they were looking for. They find a part of a sneaker protruding from the snow. Okay. Now, this is about 100 yards from the road, so you're not expecting this was like, if it was right next to the road, you'd think maybe some kid ripped it off his friend, fucking around, threw it out the window. Now you're never going to find it. It's in the snow.
100 yards away.
100 yards away. I don't know if, Warren Moon was in the car. And
put one deep.
Yeah, I put one deep on us. I don't know. I figured Warren Moon, I could picture him driving around up here.
Super rare sneaker they're looking for?
It's just a sneaker and it protruding out of the snow. The problem with the sneaker is it's not just like someone lost their sneaker.
No.
There happens to be a foot in the sneaker, which is a problem.
Yeah.
And then attached to the foot is the whole rest of the body.
Shit.
Legs and body and head and the whole...
Hips and all of it?
Hips and everything,
They got shoulders?
Shoulders.
And started with a shoe.
Just started with the shoe, and the rest is in the snow, basically, with the shoe sticking out.
Okay.
They said of the foot, quote, it was frozen stiff. So it's been there for a minute in the snow. It's not didn't just fall in there a minute ago.
Okay.
And it's like on this sort of slope down, sort of from like a for combination of both wooded field. No, it's right where a field meets some trees is where it slopes down, so you could see that.
A little small hill.
It's kind of a small, just a little slope down into the trees, sort of thing. So they find here, and what they can figure, all they can see, the body is very frozen, and we'll see that it's wrapped in a yellow floral bed sheet as well. The only thing that they can determine is that it is definitely the body of an elderly woman.
That's shitty.
That's all they can find, which is not what you want to find in the snow. No. That's not the best scavenger hunt find.
I found an old lady. Long
journey
off the road for her to be jogging.
That's in the snow especially. Yeah. She's pretty elderly too, from what they see. They find that the body, this woman, is gagged with duct tape.
Yeah.
Also said that she was strangled.
Jesus.
They noticed that from the electrical cord that is wrapped around her neck.
No, it's still there.
Once tightly and once loosely around her neck. So like I said, wrapped in a yellow floral bed sheet. She was on her left side when they found her. Now they take her from where they found her to the Albany Medical Center, and they cannot do an autopsy for like 3 days.
Jesus.
3 days because she was so, quote, the body was so fully frozen.
Jesus.
Total Frankie Carbone in the meat truck Goodfellas situation.
Inside
there.
out frozen.
Completely frozen to where they had to 2 to 3 days let her thaw out. Once she thaws out, they determined they remove the sheet. They find, like we said, an elderly woman, and she's fully clothed, which is, I guess, good.
A little positive?
That's if you want to...
The most positive
split
part of
hairs
this?
here, she's also, her hands and ankles are bound with duct tape, which is terrible. This is also awful. There's 2 strips of tape on her mouth and one over the eyes.
Oh, no.
And the electrical cord wrapped once tightly, once loosely around her neck. They found a faint, like a red mark under her skin, like on her skin under the cord where it would be held tight, but also she's dumped in snow, so it would keep it from really swelling, and she's packed in ice.
Right.
So if she was packed in ice pretty soon after this was done, it wouldn't be as bad as it would be, because
it preserves it really well.
It would keep bruising and marks down a lot because she's so packed in ice, which is really weird. They found that. Also, her left upper eyelid was bruised, and found 3 small areas of bruising above her lip as well, and then hemorrhages on her face, as far as where strangulation would be taken into will cause that.
A lot, James.
It's a lot. Also, 6 ribs were broken here, and in a pattern consistent with being dragged here, and a small scrape on her back, and in a pattern of multiple circles. They think that is definitely post-mortem, but they're still trying to figure out the ribs. Problem with being frozen solid like that is it really fucks up the timeline of what happened when, and even post-mortem, and it messes
Putting
everything
them in
up.
order is a bitch.
Yeah, certain things get a little messy and blurry when you're talking about being frozen for that long. That's why the Iceman used to freeze people and dump them off after they defrosted, because it would mess up. They couldn't figure out what the hell's going on here, because you've basically suspended someone in time.
Yeah.
So that's not normal.
So bizarre.
It's completely bizarre. Medical examiner here says it's, in my opinion, within reasonable medical certainty, that she died of asphyxia due to ligature strangulation.
Yeah.
So
we already knew that.
We knew that. Well, you never know. She could have died from exposure.
Yeah.
But that's what they think. It was ligature strangulation.
Yeah, I guess you got a point.
Which is better than being dumped alive off a hill somewhere and, thrown into the snow. So who is this woman?
I'd love to know.
Who is she? Well, they find out who she is, and it couldn't be any worse, Jimmy. Jimmy, it couldn't be any worse. This makes me so sad. Yeah. It is a 90-year-old great-grandmother named Ruth Witter.
She's everybody's great-grandma.
90. Literally, she is like my grandmother. Yeah. Italian grandma, as you guys know, is 91 right now. Yeah. She's pretty fucking fragile, and I don't want anybody fucking with her. So this is especially bad, and this especially pisses me off.
And it's
bad stuff.
You think about all those wounds and all the damage that she incurred, and
she's an old lady.
You don't need all of that.
No, she's old.
To control that?
Literally, my grandma, you could fucking barely touch her and she'd go across the room. Like,
and probably bleed out.
She's fragile as can be. They're so fragile at this age. So she was born in 1910. 1910. This is crazy. She was married in 1935.
Sweet Jesus.
She is married while people were going, Hitler's doing decent things in Germany.
Yeah.
That's when she was married. Like pre-crazy shit. Like before anybody knew about the crazy shit. When he was, people were going, turn around that economy. Like
40 years.
That's fucking nuts.
40 years before those yellow-hued weird pictures came out.
Yes.
She's married.
She's married. We're still in the Depression. This is how,
Are we?
Yeah, that's the Depression. We're in Roosevelt's second term. I mean, this is crazy when she got married. There's
like 7 pictures altogether that exist at this point.
Yeah, and then half of them are of Roosevelt's waving at people. So, and somebody doing the Charleston and Al Capone, and that's it. That's everybody. This is our history. Franklin Roosevelt, this man doing the Charleston with a very short-haired young lady from the 20s.
A very short hair. They did.
And Alphonse Capone, gangster.
God damn it.
This is the 1920s. Welcome. So
you will recognize her dress because it has weird tassels on it.
It has tassels, and
all over it.
She's dressed like a chandelier. She's a short haircut with a chandelier and a little hat that looks like a purse. All the hats look like little handbags. Hat that looks like a person. She's dancing around. Oh boy!
And they carried nothing. Where do you store everything with that little
I don't know.
accessories?
Your boobs,
I guess.
Women would whip shit out of their boobs all the time.
Those big bloomers with like the ruffles on the ass. I guess
maybe. I don't think they had those though. This was the tighter dresses. This is when ladies were like getting like the shorter dresses and they were going out dancing.
The flappers and shit.
Yeah, the flappers. Yeah. A short hair. That was an act of rebellion back then because you're not looking like a lady. Look at you.
I like it.
Next thing you know, she'll wear pants.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, she'll have pants on, and then there'll be lesbians as far as the eye can see. We can't have that.
Lesbians in sleeveless shirts.
Jesus Christ. Lesbians in plaid. No, back then it was very much just an act of rebellion to have short hair. So
how hilarious is it that straight men aren't attracted to lesbians and they're mad about it? Like those women would be attracted to you anyway. You know what I mean? Like, lesbian? Like what? Because they don't want to have sex with you?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Well, they don't want to have sex with you either.
I think the guy would still have sex with them.
Probably.
I think they're just angry because they don't want to have sex with them. They're like, this woman doesn't want to have sex with me. Clearly, there's something wrong with her.
Right.
It's. I think that's what it is.
It's hilarious.
It's way more about the guy's fucked up psyche there. I'm not going to... There's nothing to do with the woman.
No,
she's just doing
my
her
point.
thing.
I think it's hilarious that a man would be upset at a
it's
lesbian.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
And it's like, well, don't worry, bro. She
How come you don't want to fuck me? For real? You don't want this? I get it. We're gross. I don't fucking blame you. I don't want to fuck guys either, so I totally understand.
I was leaning more on the fact that she's got short hair and he's like disgusted by it.
Nah,
he's like,
he doesn't care.
He'd probably
still bang her. He doesn't care. Guys will be like, man, I don't like that. They'll still fuck her. They don't care. Guys will say, any guy will like, oh, the girl's not that attractive. Look into their history. They've had sex with worse, and they'd have sex with her, and they'd have sex with their friends and anybody else that crossed their path. Trust me, guys are disgusting. They have no scruples, morals, or standards.
That is fascinating.
It's absolutely true.
Any man could ever call any girl ugly because they'd probably fuck worse.
That's what I mean. What they consider to be less attractive, and the guys, never mind. It's still, they're still lucky to have whatever they're getting. So relax out there. Take it as it comes, everybody.
Stop judging so hard.
That's right. So Now, she was married here. Ruth was married in 1935, like we said. She's married so long ago, she's married to a man named Cyril.
Oh, Jesus.
There were still men named Cyril alive. That's how long ago this was. And Cyril died in 1983. So they were married for 48 years, and then he died.
And the only reason they were not married anymore is because he died.
Because he died, and then she kept going here for another 17 years on her own. She moved, she was from Illinois, and she moved around there in the Midwest. She was a volunteer at 2 different hospitals after her husband died, the Little Company of St. Mary Hospital in Evergreen Park, Illinois, and the Memorial Hospital in St. Joseph. She's a nice lady, is what everybody says here. Now, there's something ridiculous that I found in her obituary. This is so stupid, and you can see it's printed out from a newspaper. It's not like I didn't write this down.
No.
I actually printed out straight newspaper from the back in the day of the obituary, and they need an editor. Let's just say this back then. No wonder why the newspaper business is going under. The last line of her obituary of a 90-year-old woman is, quote, "She was preceded in death by her parents." No fucking shit. She's survived by her mother, who's 136 years old. No shit. Someone should have just gone, what is she, 90? I don't think we need that last line. Right. We could probably save the type, I think, and maybe not do that.
Even a 16
we get it.
Even at a 16-year-old mother in 1910, you're looking at a woman that's 106.
106. She's probably dead. More like if she's alive, make that the headline.
Right.
106-year-old woman's daughter dies. That should be the headline at that point. That should be right. That's the headline then. It's not woman dies. 106-year-old woman's daughter dies. That's crazy.
106-year-old woman's daughter is viciously murdered, and we're going to find out the secret to living to 106 years.
Jesus Christ, too bad. Ruth was on her way, apparently. So she's active too. Yeah. She's in a bowling league.
Wow.
She's 90 and in a bowling league.
I'm 38 and I can't even muster.
You're like, oh man, it's going to hurt my neck.
Have you bowled recently?
Oh, it hurts your neck.
It fucking hurts your whole side of your body. Whichever side you are.
Your neck, your shoulder,
left, right,
your back.
I don't give a shit. That whole side of your body's fucked for a week.
I did that with my son at his last birthday party, and I'm like, you know what? I think if I did this every day for like 6 months, I wouldn't be sore at all if I really worked it up. Yeah. But do I really want that sort of commitment to this? I really don't. I don't care about this that much.
After that day, I was like, what do you say, son? Laser tag for your birthday?
Yeah.
You into that?
It's either I'm never going to do this again or I'm going to turn pro. One of the two. I'm not sure which. But
pool party? Is that what you're into? Let's do that.
Hey, all right.
Dad will barbecue and drink beer. Let's go.
What do you say? Hey, you know what? This is much better.
That's what I can do.
So, yeah, she's in a bowling league. Her son, Alfred, picks her up, and he's in his 60s here, too. He's no spring chicken either. He's retired, for Christ's sake. No, he's retired.
Jesus.
So, he's an older guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's fucking 90. She picks her up every Friday to go take her grocery shopping, help her out with that. She's very active. Let's just put it that way. So they talk, there's an investigation. They're freaking out. Small town like this, if you kill an old lady, that looks bad.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like a baby or an old lady. We're going to find out who did this shit.
That's unsafe for everyone involved.
Absolutely.
If they'll do that to her, they'll do that to fucking anyone.
Yeah, and especially if you are an elected official in this town, you know what old people do?
Right.
They vote.
Oh,
and if they're scared for their lives,
they're available.
They're going to vote against you, and someone's going to be like, I'll keep you safe. No one will murder you in your homes. I'm voting for him.
Yeah.
He seems like a nice young man.
And if they do, we will solve it the next day.
Immediately.
10 minutes after.
Post haste.
Solved.
Yeah, it's solved yesterday.
With the most justice you've ever seen.
Swift and powerful justice from the mountaintops. So, yeah, they want to really show how into this they are. And obviously, when a 90-year-old woman is killed and dumped somewhere, fuck that.
That's horrible.
It's not like, if it's like a 30-year-old guy, you go, okay. First, you go, what was he into?
Right.
Did he have drug debts?
Right.
Was he a gambler?
Whose wife was he fucking?
Whose wife was he fucking? There's a whole bunch of nefarious possibilities of ways he might have sort of deserved this. Like in subjectively, in someone's mind.
It's easy to blame a dude when he's savagely beaten and murdered and thrown in the woods. You go,
what happened?
Was he involved with?
Who'd you fucking piss off, dude? Like, as a guy, we would say that. Like, who'd you mess with? Like, not that that's fair all the time, but you'd say, obviously, there's innocent victims, but with a 90-year-old woman, there's really nothing she could have been doing to anybody, I don't
think. Let's say, for instance, she crosses paths with, I don't know, Pablo Escobar's driving through a parking lot reckless and she smacks the hood with her cane. Even if he goes and does this to her, he's still a dick.
And I don't think he would.
No.
I think he'd go,
I'm sorry.
I like the spunk on this old lady.
Right, lady.
And he'd like give her money or a bunch of cocaine or something. Here's cocaine for you. That's wonderful. So they talk to her neighbors, a couple named Richard and Kathleen Barnhart, and they say that they saw a small red car that they'd never seen before. Mm-hmm. And if you've ever listened to Small Town Murder, you know that old people pay attention to every car that's ever passed their house. They've written down every license plate. I don't know how you can just have this memory bank. They forget their grandkids' names, but they remember every single car they've ever seen, and if one doesn't belong there, they know it, and then they alert, I've never seen that one before, and it's crazy. Maybe stop concentrating on the cars and figure, maybe that's all it is.
The good part is them forgetting their family. But they remember every weird car they've never seen, and make, model, license plate.
I have a theory here. I'm not a doctor. I'm going to start out with this. Small Town Murder. We're not doctors. That's one thing. But maybe, just maybe, hear me out here. Okay. Maybe dementia,
your family's not worth it.
Dementia really doesn't even exist. It's just as you're older, you get limited mental resources. Like, you're still just as sharp. It's just you have a shorter, a time because you sleep longer. You go to bed at fucking 7 o'clock at night.
Right.
So you do that. So while that's happening, they're using all of this mental acumen that they have for the day on cars and remembering which ones. And then they forget, they wander out, forget where they were, wander out without pants on at the grocery store and get their daughter called.
They're heading over to the Mazda dealership to get a look at the new models.
Well, the daughter picks them up at the police station. They have no pants on, and they're like, I saw a brown car that I've never seen, license plate XC7726. I wrote it down. I didn't write it down. That's off the top of my head. They're perfectly sharp. They know every car.
She's not
There's
my
nothing
daughter.
else. Yeah. They just have limited resources, and they need to spread them out more. And God, so who are you?
Memorizing the new fleet of fucking
Hold
Nissans.
on. I don't know if this is my daughter. Wait, let me see her car. Oh, that's her car. Okay, that's my daughter's car.
There it is.
I know this one.
Nissan Juke. I knew it.
I knew it. So they talked to also her son-in-law. So small red car in the driveway, by the way, February 12th. She's found February 18th in the snow. Yeah. Let's start the timeline. That's obviously the end of the timeline. Mm-hmm. February 12th is going to be the beginning of the timeline here. Red car in the driveway. So they talked to her son Alfred, the older gentleman who takes her grocery shopping, and they said that they just realized that she was missing on February 14th. Okay. They hadn't talked to her the day before. She still wasn't answering. They went over to her house and she's gone.
Valentine's Day.
They see that she's not around, and so that's where we know she's gone. So the police actually do some good investigating here, some good work on these guys' part. And we obviously make fun of cops when they fuck up in this because their job is very important to catch people who are murdered. And, when they, sometimes in our show, it's just shit that's right under their face or I don't know, we sent the game warden. It should have been fine, mess ups. This is good police work. So when it's good police work, we got to give definitely credit for this. They check every single pawn shop and anything like that within a huge area, and they end up finding in Vermont, they find a pawn shop, Manchester, Vermont, where Ruth's ring had been sold.
Really?
So that's pretty good police work there for $800.
Ooh.
So
in a pawn shop.
In a pawn shop. So sold. So think about that.
Right. That thing's worth $12 billion.
Yeah, that's worth basically the gross domestic product of Belgium, I feel like.
A very small country somewhere.
Yeah, of Luxembourg. So they say, obviously, who sold the ring? That's the important thing here. And they find who sold this ring to these people. And it's an interesting one. First person, not so interesting. It's a 20-year-old man named Jeffrey Hampshire.
Yeah.
No relation, no, doesn't know Ruth. There's no anything. So that's just, is he a crackhead?
Just a random dude.
Random shithead, we'll call him at this point for selling and you don't know if he killed her or not because he someone might have sold him, someone might have killed her, sold him a ring or traded him drugs for a ring. Who this shit knows? And once something goes in the black market, who knows where it goes? But also, more interestingly, he had somebody with her, with him. He had a young lady with him. Yeah. 19-year-old young lady named Catherine Sieber.
Tell me about her.
Well, it's interesting. The reason why it's interesting that she's there is because she happens to be Ruth's great-granddaughter.
No.
Oh, yeah.
You dirtbag.
Either way now. I don't care if your involvement in anything at this point.
I don't care if you found out she's dead and just went to the house and grabbed
that's
shit.
what I'm saying.
You're a scumbag.
Fuck you at this point. I already don't like this person.
You're a shitbag taking advantage of old people.
You're an old person that's in your family, too.
Right.
Somebody you should respect and treat with respect, goddammit.
Right.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Like I said, we go over like my grandmother's house. I go over there, you kiss your grandmother on a goddamn cheek. You tell my kids, go there and give your fucking grandmother a kiss before I smack you. Treat her with respect, goddammit. And she's 100.
Right.
Not almost. She's 91. That's close enough.
Yeah.
That's close. That's close. I'm sorry.
You get the extra 9.
I'm going to round up.
Yeah. Real hard.
If we're playing on the decades, I'm rounding up on 9. Sorry, Chief.
She's in her 10th.
Yeah, she's in her 10th decade, so it's fine. So Catherine Sieber, a little bit about her. She's 19 years old, like we said. She's born and raised in Rexburg, Idaho, which is in the southeastern Idaho panhandle there. There's Idaho's another 2 panhandler.
It's a very strange state.
It's basically reverse cold Florida, the way it's shaped. And well, it's kind of not shaped because it's kind of a...
It's like giant New Hampshire with just some shady shit happening there.
Giant militia of New Hampshire.
Yeah.
There you go.
And Dan Cummins.
And Dan Cummins in there going, I'm not in a militia.
Will somebody please move here to be friends with me? will my friends please move here so that I have people to talk to?
That's been proposed, by the way. Yeah, Lindsay and Sarah talked to each other, and she said, you guys should move here. And Sarah's like, fuck no. We love you, but it's freezing up there. You're out of your mind.
Somebody please move here with us.
No. So this is a Mormon city, a little Mormon town, 17,000 people in this town. So
it's just on the other border.
We could do a small town murder about this place.
It's just on the border, across the border of Utah.
And that also, area. Next to Montana there.
But a lot of people from like Provo and Salt Lake kind of flood into this area. It's wild.
They'd move out here to God's country.
Right.
So to grow potatoes. So this place it's a very conservative little town. And their motto in this town is America's family community. Yeah. That tells you a lot. Unfortunately, it's a giant Mormon family, so be careful.
Tight knit.
It's the Duggars, so watch out.
Lots of the same genes.
Same thing. Everybody looks the same. It's not great. So now Catherine's background. Her parents were married originally, and they end up getting a divorce when she's younger. And her father moves to New York, moves to the Stillwater area up here, the Capital District, as they call it. Moves up there, and while she was in Idaho, she was straight laced as can be. Yeah, never drank, never smoked, didn't run with the wrong crowd.
Raised around Mormons.
Yeah, that's the thing, and she kind of just fell into that. She did very well in school. Mm-hmm. She told everybody that her goal was to go to college and then become an officer in the armed forces. Wow. That's what she wanted. She wanted to be in the military, and she wanted to be an officer. And she wanted like a career in the military. Yeah. She wanted school, college, 20 years in the military or whatever, and that was her goal.
I don't know how.
Whatever. I don't know.
Whatever it is. I think it's 4, and then after that you can sign up for the officer stuff.
That's what I mean. But if you're if you go to college,
retire, you got to go 20.
Yeah, and if you go to college first, I know you get a jump on the officer shit and all that.
It's all fucking nuts.
It's all whatever. And then so she wants to be career military though.
I mean, like that idea is so foreign to me.
No, because then you'd have to listen to people.
Right.
I'm not going to listen.
And you got to be by the book and to be an American hero look like something and be something. I can't do it.
Someone yells at me, I got to yell back, and that's a bad thing. Which that's not saying I'm any better. That's saying I don't have the discipline for that.
Exactly.
That's my problem. I'm not as good at that as you are. So I'm impressed with that shit.
Good for her for having that sort of mentality and wanting that. I can't.
Thank you to anyone who could do that, because
honestly.
I can't. But she's oh man, it's rough though, man. Once she came to New York, she ends up moving with her father in her teen years to finish high school with her dad. She just wanted to be with her dad. As you know, if your parents get divorced like that, they live across the country. I did that too. I moved. Right. I went back and forth a couple of times. Sure. So I totally understand what happened there. But when she moved to New York, she completely turned into a different kind of kid. Yeah. Fell in with the wrong crowd. Right. Started partying and all that type of shit. And not even like like, oh Christ, she's drunk again, to the point where she would like steal shit. Her father and stepmother had to padlock all the rooms in the house that she wasn't like, that they didn't want her in if they left the house.
All right.
They had to go, you lock everything up? All right. Yeah, make sure Catherine can't get in our room, which is, nobody wants to live like that.
No.
Fuck, dude. Padlocking your house from your kid?
That means you don't just like do that because you see behavior.
No, this has happened.
You've experienced things. Shit's disappeared from your bedroom.
This is saying,
Katie, stay the fuck out of my room.
Yeah.
And then you leave and you come back and you go, Katie was fucking in here. We told her no.
This is when you go, I'm tired of buying more jewelry boxes.
Right.
I've lost so many already. And,
I'm tired of canceling credit cards.
Yeah.
Just lock the fucking doors.
It's one of those. It's happened several times.
Yeah.
Exactly. And she burnt her stomach
right.
with a curling iron,
which,
and then told the school psychologist that her father did it to her.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, bitch.
Then they came to her father and he was like, no, I didn't burn her with a goddamn curling. What are you fucking talking about? And then they went to her and she went, okay, I burned myself with a curling iron.
Jesus.
Which is bonkers. It's one thing to, self-harm happens and people have, issues, obviously, and that are in pain that they do that for.
But she needs a therapist and she's screaming to help.
But to self-harm and then actually try to get someone else in trouble for it is a different thing completely.
Right.
Like, I don't even know if those are connected, or I don't know the psychology behind that.
She had to know he was going to deny it, and then when they come back to her and say your dad denied it, and then she caves, that's almost crazier than just sticking with it.
That's what I mean.
You know what I mean?
Did she think she could stick with it? Because obviously he would deny it if he didn't do it.
Exactly.
She had to know that was going to come, but then she would go, no, he did do it, and then they'd take him to jail, I guess. Is that what she thought? And then she'd get attention? I don't know what the end game is here. Or was the whole thing for attention? Was she trying to get her dad's attention? I don't know the psychology behind this whole thing. I'm not once again, I'm not a doctor.
There's absolutely
a lot of
screaming for attention.
There's some mixed shit in here. Yeah,
I don't know what attention she wants, but she wants somebody to talk to her.
That's what I mean. It's the wrong kind of attention, obviously, but I don't know what the psychology is from self-harm to then trying to ensnare someone else and blame them in it. Are those?
What year is that? Is that the 90s?
This is 1990, 1998, 2000, something, around there, 99.
That's too far into her life to where.
Oh yeah, she's 17, 18 years old at this point. But you know what I mean? Like where does that turn into that? Are those two separate completely things? Self-harm and then manipulation of trying to actually harm someone else?
I don't know.
I don't know
how long her dad and her mom have been divorced.
B, or is that one cocktail that's somehow mixed that's separate from that and that?
That might be A and F.
If you're a psychologist or something, please, psychiatrist, somebody tweet at us and let us know that shit, because there's
got to be much more involved to get to that point, because I can't get there from A to B. I can get there from like A, B, C, D, E, F, tons of
I feel like I would need medical school to understand this, so I I'm not sure, like a residency. She then also bragged about burning her little brother with curling irons, even though she didn't. Which is weird.
She lies a lot.
She would lie also, and then she would brag about stealing from classmates when she lived in Idaho, even though she never did. Okay. So as soon as she got to New York, she tried to be like, as soon as she got to Stillwater, she tried to like completely change herself and be Miss Badass and
leather and shit.
Yeah, like I did this over here and I did that. She turned into like Olivia Newton-John wearing black at the end of Grease or something. You're like, come on, Catherine. It's not natural.
A Bic pen tattoo.
Yeah, that's not natural.
The three dots on her hand.
And not for nothing, but that dude's gay. Yeah. Anyway, so Jeffrey's not, though, and Jeffrey's into her, and she hooks up with Jeffrey, Hampshire, and they become a couple. Yeah. And this is his first girlfriend ever. Like this is his first piece of ass, we'll say. Anything. To be crude, this is the first girl he's having sex with. Yeah. So at 20, he's going, this is the first piece of ass I'm getting. And he's fucking jacked about it. He is so excited, it's not even funny.
He's smitten.
He is. And she is a lot smarter than him, too. Like, it's not even a question. Jeffrey's a fucking moron. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. This kid is an idiot.
He's just a dummy.
Wait till we hear how his whole life worked. He's a complete moron, this kid. You just can't get any dumber than him.
Easily controlled, easily
stupid.
Manipulated.
That's the other thing.
And you give him a little bit of sex and he's just blinded and dumb.
Yeah, he's going to galooly the situation completely. For Tanya Harding.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about a healthy, delicious item, Hero Bread. And we're both trying to get healthier this new year. Jimmy had a eye-opening doctor's appointment and things like that. So we're trying to get healthier, and I'm telling you right now, this Hero bread is a good step in this direction. It's delicious, and it is really good for you, and it's really excellent. They have the sliced bread is good, the bagels, the tortillas. I know you've been
they're terrific.
Ranting about the tortillas. They're so good. With Hero bread, you can focus on your health goals and still indulge in the soft, fluffy experience you love, but guilt-free. I really love the little Hawaiian rolls, too.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're so good. The Hawaiian rolls, they're legit. They're fluffy. They're exactly how you want them to be. You'd never know it's low-carb and high-fiber bread from the texture. You get the soft, fluffy experience you know and love with your savory breakfast sandwich, late-night grilled cheese, Taco Tuesday. Do it. No compromises, just flavor, ultra-low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, high in fiber. It's fantastic. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use the code SmallTownMurder at checkout. That's SmallTownMurder at HERO.co.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you all sorts of good stuff about Chime. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many extra fees you have to pay in life. Everything. You go to the airline, there's an extra ticket on that. There's extra fee on every fees and fees, hotels, fees, all this type of stuff. We're trying to make progress, and the next thing you know, here comes another fee coming at you, and it's more money than you expected, and your whole math is thrown off, and it's awful. Learn more at chime.com/smalltownmurder. Chime is great with that stuff. I mean, you can't beat if your things are a little tight, especially around the holidays or after the holidays. You need that money a couple days early, or you go grocery shopping, you got a car payment due, there's so many things that don't cross over exactly how you want them to cross over. Make progress toward a better financial future with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/smalltownmurder. That's chime.com/smalltownmurder. Feels like progress. Banking services and debit cards provided by Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in SpotMe and are subject to monthly limits. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs.
And now back to the show.
Unbelievable.
So February 12th, 2000, they say that weekend, and that's, as we know, that's the February 12th is the date of the red car being seen in the driveway of Ruth's house. That weekend, Catherine and Jeffrey spend that weekend hanging out and partying. Yeah. They're both unemployed. Neither of them go to school. Neither of them do shit. They just hang out. They drink. They do drugs. They fuck around. Whatever.
They're allowed to.
They're idiots.
At that point,
yeah. Get a job, go to school, do something. You're over 18. Figure it out. You know?
Start
I don't know.
Costing people money.
At least gas money. Figure your life out. I know you live with your mom or whatever, but when you go out to party, how do you buy your drugs?
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? At least have drug money for yourself. So that's always at least have drug money. You should have your own drug money. You know what I mean? Right?
Should rarely be bumming weed off of people.
Yeah, well, I mean, weed or a joint, your friends that you do that with or something, but drug money. Like if you're going to buy drugs, you need to have something to pay for that.
Don't turn to a friend and go, you got this, right?
That's, I've always been like that with weed. Very responsible like that, where it's like, well, I got to be able to buy my own. I got to be able to buy my own weed, so.
Because you're a dude.
Yeah. Get it together here.
Because you're not a girl who gets it bought for her.
Oh, well, that would be cool. I remember that. It's like a teenager.
Yeah.
I'm like, what kind of situation is this? People just give you weed? That's amazing if you're a girl.
And it continues when you turn 21 and guys just push drinks down your throat.
I know. That is pretty amazing. But
on the dark side,
on the flip side of that coin, that means they're going to try to fuck you, and you have to then fend them off. So you know what? I can just go out and do what I want. I'll buy my own, and I'm sure there's women going, "Yep, not worth it, not worth it." So what we figured out today, not worth it for women to get free drinks, and men are mad because lesbians don't want to fuck them, and they want to fuck the lesbians. That's how this works.
So good. What a world.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
They're angry. Why don't you want to fuck me? Girls are attractive when they wear basketball shorts, and I can't have any of them.
But on the off chance that you wearing those basketball shorts are into me, I will buy you drinks.
I will buy you drinks and or weed.
Until you fall asleep, and then I will maybe jerk off around you.
We're a sorry lot, aren't we?
It's disgusting.
So they end up spending that weekend partying in a motel, Jeffrey and Catherine, all right? To the point where they do some damage to the motel, and Jeffrey's parents receive a call from the hotel manager. Okay. He's 20. I don't know why they're calling his parents for. I think that's a civil or criminal matter of his own,
Call the
doing
police.
At that
He's got
point.
a social security number. They'll arrest him.
Yeah. Didn't he leave a credit card or, when he rented this goddamn room?
Didn't he give you some sort of financial
Put it on there.
Something
for backup in case you trash the joint. So they
said.
And
if you didn't, that's on you.
Yeah. That's your.
You trusted him.
Sorry. So the parents here, this is Jeffrey Hampshire's father. Jeffrey Hampshire's father says about Jeffrey and Catherine, quote, he came home one day and said that he met a girl. He told me she's the smartest person I've ever met, he's met up to 3-4 people. So me, his mom, and an aunt one time. So it's pretty. It's high company. Also, but the mother's impressed too. Jeffrey's mother's an elementary school teacher. So, I mean, she went to college. She's a smart person. She's, guiding our youth. And she even said Catherine was very impressive. Yeah. She says, quote, this is about Catherine, quote, she said she scored a 1600 on her SATs and she had taken junior ROTC. She was very sophisticated looking. I would guess she was at least 23 years old by the way she dressed. What the fuck does that mean?
She dresses 4 years older because she's a professional. Because she is
what does that mean?
Christina Applegate from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dad.
Slap some shoulder pads on. Yeah. Right on top of that, Rose. That's the fucking. She's very sophisticated.
Yeah. She looks like she pays a bill or two in her life.
She's ready to. Why don't we just hold the fashion show at her house? It'd be perfect.
Very sophisticated girlfriend you have, son. What does she have? A car payment? Does she have a car payment? I bet she has a car payment.
She must have a car payment.
She has car insurance, doesn't she?
Oh, she's insured and everything. So, they said, though, that weekend of February 14th is when the motel incident happened. And that what they said is a different side of her at that moment in time, because the hotel managers called and said, hey, your kid did $685 worth of damage to my goddamn hotel here. Right. What the fuck? And the Hampshires said they sat their son down, and Catherine, they sat them down on the couch and they gave them a talking to. Now, you did bad. They said, this is Jeffrey's father, quote, I told Jeffrey how disappointed in him I was.
Yeah.
He's 20.
I smacked him on the nose.
Disappointed's a different story. I'm shaking him upside down for his money in his pockets. Yeah. You're paying for this, fuckwad, not me, stupid. Understand?
Changing the locks on the house. Get the fuck out. You have hotels calling me. Yeah, go figure out your own life.
Ridiculous. He says, quote, we told him he had to go see the manager right away. And so Jeffrey's like agreeable to this shit. He's like, okay. Okay, that's okay. I'll do it.
I will.
Catherine, at the other time, they said that Catherine the whole time wasn't listening and was just sitting on the couch with her legs crossed reading a newspaper. Okay? They said when they finished, they said, you have to go see the manager. Jeffrey said, okay. Catherine closed the newspaper and said, quote, it's all a lie. I'm not paying anything. And then began reading the newspaper again.
Oh, shit.
Like just cold as can be. They were like,
everybody.
Damn, that girl's 19. Yeah. That's just 19. That's for anybody. You're like, shit, that's worldly. Some worldly shit right there. Yeah. So police, from the ring incident, from finding the ring, they know they want to talk to Jeffrey Hampshire. And they want to talk to him first, because basically once they find out who he is, they go, no matter who else is involved in this, he's the weak link.
Right.
He's that dumb.
Right.
No one, he's not the smart one, put it that way.
He's got a shoe untied.
Yeah. He's not the brains of the operation.
He's like, well, I can't tie that till I get home and mom ties it for me.
He's got a beanie with a fucking propeller on top. It's very sad, He's at a mo haircut.
His not working out. His zippers down. Hanging out of it.
Oh, absolutely. Shirt's crookedly buttoned. He's carrying a lamp and a thermos and a fucking remote control.
Yeah. Hands around his
jerk
ankles.
now. Yeah. Yeah.
In a pink robe. Wasn't he wearing a pink robe?
I think it was a blue robe.
Yeah, blue. Yeah.
Blue with the kind of partially open with the thing kind of crooked.
The shoulder off.
Yeah, it's all messed up. So Now that he's got that, they bring him in and they're like, wow, he's a mess. He's going to be easy to crack.
Right.
They bring him in. This is February 16th. They bring him in. So now, February 12th, red car. February 14th, they sit him down. His parents sit him and Catherine down on the couch. You fucked up that motel room. That's also the day that Alfred finds out that Ruth is missing. The son finds out that his mother is missing, Ruth. And then February 18th is when she is found in the snow. So that's our timeline at this point.
16th, we've got him sat down.
16th, yes, we've got. So this is right now. That's what I mean. Right now, we're on February 16th, and Hampshire is brought in. They read him his Miranda warning. Now, they have him for a robbery at a bowling alley.
Yeah.
He robbed some keys and an address book out of a bowling alley, out of a car at the High Rock Lanes bowling alley. So they have him on that no matter what.
It's a hell of a caper.
Yeah, well, then he actually took the keys and the address book, went to that person's house, broke in, and stole a bunch of shit.
Oh, Jesus.
While they were bowling.
Oh, that's cold-hearted shit, man.
Somebody's like, tipsy. They've had they're a pitcher and a half. They're having they're bowling like a 241. It's like their best game ever.
Smoking indoors,
just loving life, and then going outside, and their cars, keys are gone, and all their shit's
Windows
gone.
broken.
Hey,
what the fuck?
Everything's gone. So they give him a Miranda warning, and like a true genius, he says, "Oh no, I'll talk. Yeah, no, whatever you got."
Who's Miranda? Let's talk.
I don't have to talk, but I will. I mean, I don't have to, but I mean, Jesus,
is that Miranda hot? Because we talked to her.
Is she going to talk to me?
Do we have her number?
Tell you what. Tell her to warn me, and then we'll talk about it.
Tell her I've had upwards of one pussy in my life.
What's her warning? Does she have something? She got the clap or something? Is that the warning?
Listen, they make condoms.
Listen, that's a Miranda warning.
I'm dangerous, too. I break into cars.
That's what happens. She breaks into hives. I break into cars. So they sit this fucking moron.
She breaks into blisters.
Into blisters. Me? Cars. So, but we're a good team that way. So Jesus Christ. These two, they sit Jeffrey down. This is Catherine doesn't even know that Jeffrey's been taken in at this point. They sit Jeffrey down and they go, okay, let's talk about this. When were you ever in the area of Ruth's house? Have you ever been in that town even? And he says, I've been there one time ever in that town. And that was 2 days ago on February 14th, Valentine's Day, with me and my girlfriend went and had dinner at a restaurant there because it's Valentine's Day. And we drove home. They said, okay, that makes sense. That's cool. But it's a murder interrogation, so they're going to talk to him for a long time. And they're kind of not tipping their hand that they're sure he's involved in something. They're making it seem like, look, we know we're going to really bust your balls about this robbery with the bowling alley and all that shit. And then they're going to slip in there's this dead old lady thing a couple times too, because
sidetracking with Miranda's tits.
And so either way they have him Mirandized, so it's kind of a Trojan horse. They're kind of Trojan horsing a murder thing through a robbery.
This is great.
Questioning, which is, I mean, and legally it's all a Miranda warning. So I mean, you're all under one umbrella. It's not like you can only question him for one particular thing. It's questioning. Shit's open at that point. If he wants to talk, it's up to him.
Beautiful.
So over the course of several hours, he goes, oh, you know what? You're right. He slips up at one point and he goes, no, you're absolutely right. I did mess up. I was there on the 14th. I was also in that town on February 11th. Did I mention that? So I was there on the 11th and the 14th. But those are the only 2 times I've ever been there in history. Like ever. Never even been to that's it. And then, I was also there on February 12th. Did I mention that? So I was there one time, but I was actually there every day this week. Did I mention that? Like every single day there? So I was there.
It's my favorite town, actually.
It's actually my favorite. I'm actually the mayor of the town.
I'm a big fan.
Did I tell you that? I'm actually the mayor. I paint the sign population whenever somebody moves in or leaves. Like I stand there with a paintbrush. So really a big part of the fabric of the town. I'm the Grand Master of the parade. Did I tell you that?
Grand Marshal.
Grand Marshal. Grand Master.
Jesus Christ.
I haven't slept in a week. I don't know what to tell you.
Say Grand Dragon.
Geographization and this shit. I haven't slept in a fucking week. What do you want from me?
It's very rare that I get to correct your grammar, so
I have no idea what's happening today. Wow.
The Grandmaster. I'm Grandmaster Flash there.
Grandmaster Flash of the parade. Every parade should have a Grandmaster Flash at the front. That's a parade.
Yeah.
Just, all right, we're ready, motherfuckers, and move on out. That's what I want. Every parade to
Every
have a
block
Grandmaster
he's screaming,
Flash.
all right, motherfuckers.
Parade time, motherfuckers. He's just,
Oh, it's so good.
I would love to see that. Dressed just like in the fucking from 1981. That'd be amazing.
So many zippers.
Oh, zippers and his leather. Oh, he looks like
so many zippers and motherfuckers. It's so good.
Let's go, motherfuckers. Girl Scouts following him. Come on, motherfuckers. Let's go.
The Shriners zipping around in tiny cars.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, motherfuckers.
He said, let's go.
He said motherfuckers. I don't know. So why was he there on the 12th in particular? So now it's gone to the 11th, the 12th, the 14th, today, all the time. He says now that he just remembered, I forgot. I mean, it's been a long week, obviously. He's had a week like we've had, just, multiple cities flying. He says that Catherine wanted to show her great grandmother her new car, which is actually not new. It's a 93 Geo Prism. You know what color it is?
No.
It's red, by the way. And you know what Geo Prisms are? I'd call them a small red car.
I would call them
Let's just say that.
If it's red, it's certainly a small red car.
Yeah, and that's February 12th, the day that the neighbor said they saw a small red car in the driveway. Big coincidence, but Jeffrey says they didn't go to Ruth's house. They said they went looking for it, but they had only been there. Catherine had only been there a couple times and couldn't find it. So they never found the house. They looked around for a little while. This is pre-GPS, that sort of thing. So they looked around for a little while and then just shrugged it off and drove off and never went to her house. So they were like, I don't know. That must have been a different little red car. That's his story. So they said, let me ask you this, Jeffrey. How often you ever been to pawn shops? You know anything about pawn shops? And he goes, pawn shops? What's that?
They got a shop for every chess piece?
I think, is that what they got, a bishop shop up there, a rook shop?
Can't wait to go to that queen shop.
That's going to be a good shop.
I'll bet Miranda works.
She shops there. She's going to be good at that. So they asked him about that, and he goes, I've never been to a pawn shop. He literally was like, what is a pawn shop again? And they were like, where you sell things and then they resell them for higher value.
It's actually for shady people.
They're like, he said, I don't think I've ever been to one of those.
I'm not a piece of shit. I stay out of those.
But then they go after over some time, and he goes, you know what? That pawn shop thing. You're right. I messed up on that one. You were right. I actually had been in a pawn shop a couple of years ago.
Sure.
I forgot about it. It was just, me and my friends went, and you forget about things, how it works like that. I've been to a pawn shop a couple of years ago. And then last summer also. Last summer I was also at a pawn shop, unless I told you. Did I mention, by the way, I was at a pawn shop 2 weeks ago? Because I was at a pawn shop a couple of years ago last summer and 2 weeks ago. Fuck. God damn it. Guys, I was at a pawn shop 2 days ago. Did I mention that? That I was at a pawn shop 2 days ago? Because I was at a pawn shop 2 days. I was at a pawn shop 2 years ago, last summer, 2 weeks ago, and 2 days ago.
And if you watch A&E or have Netflix, my show Pawn Stars is on. You can watch that.
You can watch that. I work there. I own the pawn shop.
My name is Chum Lee. It's nice to meet you.
I'll give you $50 for that watch.
My grandfather's going to be pissed because that's a fake.
You have any Confederate memorabilia? Because we always buy that. They always buy
every
that
damn time.
Every time.
Fucking time. It never fails.
So there's that shit. Yeah. So he's been there. He's never been to Colony except every day this week.
Right.
Although he's never been there, and he's been to a pawn shop constantly, and he works at a pawn shop. So
it's his favorite place next to pawn shops.
It's pretty fucking ridiculous. Is really what's going on here.
If you can't find him in this town, you can come to the nearest pawn shop. He's certainly there.
I'm surprised they didn't run into him when they were looking for the ring at pawn shops. Just run into him there.
Catch him pawning it right there.
Walk in with a picture of him. Have you seen that?
What the fuck?
Hold on a second. Yes, you have. So they tell him, look, this is when they hit him with, now that he's fucked up his story 12 times, rather than just going, I'd like an attorney, please, and then get a robbery charge and nothing else. He says all of this. And what they say is they go, we have a fiber sample that matches the bed sheet that Ruth's body was wrapped in when it was uncovered. We have that. And there's a thread caught on a nail, they said, that was dragged through the garage. So we have that. And we also have a piece of duct tape that matches that. So that matches the bed sheet from the house to her out there. They also said that they have some duct tape, Witter's DNA on some duct tape that was on her. And they said, now that tape, you never know. We have a bunch of duct tape from some speaker wires in your room. Now, if we go and test all that duct tape, is that going to come back to be the same roll of duct tape? And is that going to be the same? Because something tells me it might be. By the way, that doesn't.
None of that exists.
They couldn't do that at that point in time. And you could do that in a certain thing if it's a tear or something like that.
Those tears can match up.
But it didn't match up. But they tell him, you never know. We start getting into that DNA stuff. You know how that works. And, So he's like, oh, shit.
Works. He doesn't know how shit works.
Yeah, so he starts panicking, but he keeps his mouth shut, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know. I told you everything, I'm just pawn shops, and how I go. Pawn shops and fucking... And that town. That's all I do. So they really wanted him to go, yes, I did it. And also, here's what Catherine did. And this is both our roles. But he doesn't go there. So they're like, how the fuck are we going to catch Catherine? Because she seems a little smarter than this. At least they think that for a few days until they get a phone call from a male friend of hers. Oh, some guy who says, strange thing happened. I have a friend of mine, this chick, and
dresses real sophisticated.
Totally. I thought she was at least 23. It turns out she's 19. It's super weird. But she she'll burn you with a curling iron, though. Watch out. He said,
vicious with a curling iron.
She says, I know her for a while now, and the weird thing is she just told me that she killed her great grandma. I don't know if this is true or not, but she says, I killed my great grandma and buried her in the woods. So does that mean anything to you guys? Do you guys are you interested in this? And the cops are like, oh, that's pretty good. Wow. Talk about a gift of investigative gift here. And they go, well, they're like, she just admitted it to you? And he goes, yeah, she'll just talk about it with me. She brings it up. She keeps bringing it up. She's real proud of it or some shit. And they're like,
I'm really getting sick and tired of hearing about it, to be honest with you.
It's fucking over and over. Yap, 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 yada, yada, yada at this. But she's yada, yadaing over the murder. That's how many times she's gone over it. She's like, so there, yada, yada, yada. So now we got to cover the body up. It's crazy. Totally
yada yadaing over the murder. Jesus.
Once you get to that point.
Yeah.
So, they said, tell you what, man, you're her buddy. She's talking to you about this. Do you think maybe you could wear a wire and get her to talk about it with you?
Yeah.
And he went, I'll throw a wire on. If I bring it up, she'll talk about it. Sure, what the fuck?
It's a small town. This is the most action I'll ever do.
Yeah,
fucking strap me up. This sounds great.
And imagine small town police force. Yeah. They're like, this is awesome.
We've got one.
Chief, we have an informant. I know. Totally, right?
We can put tape on.
Dude, it's total cop stuff. Okay, you got that tape that doesn't rip your... Okay, cool. Let's do this shit.
Tell this kid to shave his chest. He's going to work.
Do we have batteries? I don't think we have batteries for these. Go to the store. Get batteries. Let's go. Come on, guys. Let's act like we have our shit together here. Come on. We're just as sophisticated as any other police force, everybody. Let's keep it together here.
Let's tape them up.
They're like, this is so cool. If at any point while they're wiring someone up, one of the cops goes, this is so cool, you're in a bad police force. You're in a really lame police force.
I really want that to happen.
Totally lame. He says, quote, this is so cool. No. So they said, as a matter of fact, you have a wire. She'll do that. Do you think, this is a long shot, obviously, because who the fuck would be dumb enough to do this, but do you think, just ask her if you can stand by me the situation and see if she'll take you to the body.
Hell yeah.
Say, will you show me where the body is?
Show me a dead body.
Yeah.
Actually say the exact word.
Show me a dead body. Want to see a dead body? So I just tell her, I want to see a dead body. No, so they said, do you think that you could ask her? Just act curious because she wants to talk about it. So obviously she's interested in it. You talk about it too and just be like, hey, will you show it to me? Right. Maybe act like you don't believe her.
Right.
And maybe act, because if you challenge Catherine, she'll fucking, I'll show you.
You liar,
you. You didn't really do that. Yeah. I did too. I am a badass.
Yeah.
It's one of those things with her. And he goes, sure, what the fuck? And so he puts a wire on. Goes to her and she goes, I'll show you where the fucking body is. No problem. Let's do it. They get in the car. They're driving out in the middle of nowhere. This is February 18th.
Yeah.
They're driving out toward the Saratoga, no man's land out here. And they're going to see the body. He's got a wire on.
Yeah.
They're in the car. He's driving. At one point, she looks in the rear view. She notices that they're being followed.
Yeah.
And she's pretty sure it's police. And she starts flipping out on him.
Oh.
She starts yelling at her friend, you motherfucking bastard.
Yeah.
You fucking set me. She turns into fucking John Gotti if you had a wire on her. It's like, this cocksucker, we're going to fucking clip this son of a bitch. That's what she turns into.
Yeah.
Just fucking you son of a bitch. Turns into a gangster immediately. Right?
Yeah.
So at this point, she's yelling at him and obviously the fucking ruse is up now. I don't think she's bringing bringing him to the body.
No.
So the cops, they light her up with the sirens and everything.
They hear it all happening.
And they hear it happening. They light up the lights. They pull him over, and she's sitting there. They pull the friend out of the car. The cop comes up to her. Now she's crying.
For sure.
From the time of there to there, she went from "you motherfucker" to "I'm so sad."
Yeah.
So she knows how to manipulate situations here. So the state police investigator comes up to her. This guy's name is Bud York.
Hell yeah.
Which sounds like a state police investigator. He sounds like the head of the state police investigator.
His name is York in New York. He better be the head.
Bud York. He's got 7 letters in his entire name.
It sums him up.
That's amazing.
I can do it in 7.
That's so awesome. Like, as a person with an 11-letter last name, that's amazing. You know the dream of that? Yeah. Bud York? Holy shit. That's awesome. Yeah. So Bud, how flat is his top, Bud York?
Oh, boy.
It's just fucking...
He uses a level to do it.
I was going to say, you could put a level on it and it would be perfect. You're like, no, that's...
Carpenters are impressed with
flush
the plane.
and plumb. I don't know how it's both, but it's both. It's flush, plumb, and level. Boy, that is a fucking...
That's a hell of a
some kind of haircut you got there, man. So he walks up to her with his flat top and everything, puts his hand on her shoulder, and this is God, I love this fucking line. She's sobbing, and he says, quote, "Kate, it's time to show me where grandma is."
Get him, bud.
Which is fucking great. So they do, and they find out where she says she's over there, blah, blah, blah. They end up finding her there. So, Jesus Christ, they arrest her, obviously. You're going to get arrested from that. Now, at the same time, when this is found, they rearrest Jeffrey, even though he's already under arrest. They are recharging him with, with murder now.
Pulling out the cell and recharge.
So they do this while they're fingerprinting him. Now, they're fingerprinting him. He's not being questioned.
No.
It's not like there's a detective fingerprinting him. You're going to tell me everything, punk, while he's being fingerprinted.
Right.
That part's over. Now or that's going to happen later. This is just a guy, his only job is to fingerprint you. Right. This is like someone who's 3 weeks from retirement or had an injury or something. Like, they don't care.
Pull you out and he goes, "What's this for?" "I don't know. You got some new charges or something."
They don't.
"Oh, I know what those are."
Have any fucking idea or really give a shit.
Yeah.
This Jeffrey begins making loud and completely unsolicited voluntary statements of guilt.
Great.
Throughout the police station to the fingerprint guy.
Right to this guy.
Pissing that person off because they just want to get it over with so they can go take their break. So they're
Shut
like,
up, man. You're going to make me have to go to court too.
Fuck me. I don't want to know about this stuff. I'm not interested. All right? Some people just aren't interested. You selfish prick.
There are going to be some people that want to hear this. I'm not him.
I'm not one of them.
No.
So, he starts screaming, quote, that he's tired of defending Catherine, that she bought the tape and got the pellet gun, which hasn't been brought up yet, and that he was outside smoking when she was killing Ruth. I had nothing to fucking do with it. I don't know what you're talking about. Just screaming this shit.
Put your fingers on the pad, man.
Thumb. Now your thumb. Roll it. You've done this before. God damn it. This guy is so fucking stupid.
We've had you in a cell. You've already been through this.
Jesus. So they end up going back to the house and they find out in the snow, they find a pellet gun, which is a Crossman 177 caliber CO2 lookalike that looks exactly like a 357.
Jesus.
Jimmy, I've showed you the picture.
Yeah.
It is exactly like a 357.
It's real stuff.
Even in broad daylight, police would fucking open fire on JonBenet Ramsey if she had this fucking gun. And it would be, people go, you know what? I see that. I could see it.
What's her problem?
Jesus, you don't wave that around a cop. Obviously, they're going to shoot you. Jesus Christ, JonBenet.
You don't. Where are your parents?
Jeez, JonBenet. Fucking head on a swivel. You know what I'm saying? Be more careful. It would, because that's how fucking real it looks.
Not one person in America would blame the cops for taking her down.
I would no. Anybody whip that out on me, and I have a way to protect myself, I am fucking using it, because that thing is scary looking. It looked like a giant. It looked like a giant hand cannon. That's what it looked like. Hey, so
God damn it.
So he ends up pleading innocent to second-degree murder charges, and they're thinking about death penalty for both of these guys, but they're going through. They want to get them charged up now, and then they can update the charges later on here. They're talking about first-degree murder because that's a death penalty situation. So they want to have that leverage of, at least getting a plea out of them. You can get a plea of, we just won't go for we won't, no death penalty, and that's a plea.
Right.
Rather than
that's a happy day.
Yeah. you can get life in prison and they think they got a deal out of you. So that's not bad. Now, the detectives who question Catherine, they call her as unremorseful and cold and tough as anyone they've ever talked to.
Jesus.
And she's a 19-year-old girl. Very sophisticated, though, as we know. March 21st, Catherine's father dies while she's in jail being held, presumably of shame and disappointment, I would assume. According to the newspaper here, the obituary said he's an animal lover, and he also loved WCW wrestling.
Oh.
So he'd have been very disappointed the next year when they went out of business. So it's a good time for him to die, probably.
Those
his daughter's up for murder and wrestling's going under. Fuck it.
TV shows like to wonder, are you born this way, or is this an environmental change that happens to your chemical makeup that creates this? And this is a great case to study to fucking figure that out.
What happened to her?
She's a cold-hearted bitch at 19 already.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
This is intense.
This is very intense. It's abnormal. I guess for men it's not abnormal, though. There's guys that are serial killers they want to be. There's people who are vicious by this age.
Certainly
they're just
tugging
not
to the idea of it. Right.
Yeah, they're just not sophisticated enough yet. So Catherine, she's got Jeffrey being arrested, and basically they're doing like a wire thing here, like on the wire where they're going back. One of you is going to be a witness, and one of you is going to be the main killer here.
Yeah.
Whoever goes first is going to be the one who gets the deal, and then the other one might go to the chair.
Yeah.
Or the needle at this point.
Are they playing at this point on both of them pleading guilty?
No, they're trying to get one to flip on the other and spill it, and then get the death penalty on the other, or at least get them so they'll plead a life and parole, and then get the whole thing. Yeah, that'd be done with the whole thing. But Catherine, she says, I don't want to be the one to get told on and have James and have Hampshire here get the whole deal. So you know what? I'm going to preempt guilty. I plead guilty. Catherine pleads guilty.
Right away.
Right. No, she goes from I don't know shit to I'm pleading guilty and testifying against Jeffrey.
Okay.
I'll do that. Yeah. His fault. Fuck it. All him. I'm innocent. That's how it works. So she does. In court, she says this is the allocution they let her get away with, which is horseshit. Quote, I went to my grandmother's house with Jeffrey Hampshire. While we were there, we went inside, and he told me that he was going to steal from her. We went back inside. He told me that he was not going to do it, but as he went down the hall, he went back into the bedroom, and I thought he was stealing from her, so I stood between where Jeff was and where my grandmother was and continued to talk with her in order for him not to be caught stealing from her. Mm-hmm. First of all, don't steal from my fucking grandmother. Get out of my house.
You're contributing. Right.
You're contributing to that. And in the course of and in furtherance of such crime, we caused the death of Ruth Witter and later placed her body in Saratoga County. That's what they let her get away with.
That ain't it.
Not you forgot, duct taped her, strangled her, dragged her, put her in the trunk of a car, dumped her in the snow.
Right.
Let's hear the details.
At this point, we started horrible shit. Mm-hmm. That's what happened.
Yeah, she said that caused that.
Lord.
They let her get away with that. They do. Man, they have to. There's a real picky little legal detail of whether she was in the residence unlawfully during the commission of the crime. Like, was she stealing property before that started? Because it's a legal charge for an aggravator, basically. So she says, yes, she was in there. This is fucking ridiculous. You don't fucking. No. You don't do this shit.
This is terrible.
No, you don't fuck with old people.
You should already know this. She should already know that she's being a real dickhead.
This is awful, and it makes you want to do anything. Something about it, whether it's kids or like an old lady like this, you just don't fuck with them.
It's just so scummy.
Don't fuck with old ladies.
No, it's
Jesus
so gross.
Christ. How many times have we said it on this show?
Yeah.
Stop fucking with old ladies, especially an old lady that's, like I said, part of your family.
And it's so independent. She's not even a burden to anybody in the family.
No,
she's 90
She's
and
doing
taking
her
care
own
of
thing.
herself.
She does her own shit. Yeah, other than going grocery shopping once a week, she takes care of herself.
And not that a burden is a reason to fucking smother them.
No, but yeah.
I'm just saying she's done nothing to anybody to even upset anybody.
The only thing she did that they found that she may have upset Catherine was she is Catherine's step-great-grandmother.
Yeah.
Okay, she's Catherine's stepmother's grandmother.
Dad's new wife's grandmother.
Yeah, but it's been Dad's wife for over 10 years. Like it's not like, this new chick. Like it's Dad's, whatever. She's part of the family. She's known this woman since she was a little kid. It's not like she just met her and was like, there's an old lady I can knock over. Like she's known her forever. But they were at a family gathering gathering pretty recently, and Catherine was referring to Ruth as my great-grandmother, and Ruth stopped her and said, I only have one great-granddaughter, and it's not you. So, I like Ruth.
I don't know. Maybe she deserved this.
She's got a mouth on her, this lady. I don't know.
Does.
Hey, she's got a mouth.
A great-granddaughter or a great-grandchild is like, that's something that a great-grandmother would hold super dear. I've put 91 years
my two kids
into
are my
getting
grandma.
this.
Yeah,
right.
That's what it is.
And you're just going to fucking claim it because your dad married into this shit? No.
And they're also very picky about who's related. It's a very weird thing, these old people. So, so they now, at his trial here, his lawyers portray her as the mastermind, and the prosecution tries to portray Jeffrey as the mastermind, which is a stretch. Yeah. It's a stretch, I got to say.
He's a grand master.
Yeah, he's a grand master, but not a mastermind, put it that way. The district attorney said they're a team, and they're both guilty. That was one of the things they're trying to say. They're trying to say that, Catherine's no angel here. No. She did it too, but I think it was more Jeffrey. Yeah. Now, they said that the defense says that they have physical evidence that shows that it's all Sieber and Sieber alone, and that is based on some fiber evidence. Now, they have some fiber evidence saying that the gloves that were worn while Ruth was being strangled by whoever was the murderer were Catherine's gloves. Okay, that's the fiber evidence. Now, that's the fiber evidence they had from the beginning. So the state says, because this is why that's why she pled guilty, because they said, we have fiber evidence that's your gloves doing it. So she said, fuck, I got to plead guilty. I'll blame it on Jeffrey. Now, the spin that the state puts on it and that she puts on it is, midway through the killing, Jeffrey started strangling Ruth, then stopped and said, my gloves are uncomfortable to strangle with. Yeah. Can I use yours?
These are a little too loose.
These are too, literally, can I? And Catherine gave him her gloves, and then he wore Catherine's gloves and finished the strangling. Okay. That's their story, which is
but it's a story.
Not a good story at all. But that's what they're going with.
It's pretty weak.
That's pretty fucking weak. But the forensics were a big reason why she pled guilty here. She says that in court, she testifies that against Jeffrey, she says that she wanted to go to Ruth's house to show her new car, and it was almost noon. They went there. They said they talked about to her about the cookies she made for her bowling league. Yeah, she's making cookies for the bowling league.
I can't imagine.
What a nice lady. Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
Cookies for anybody.
Yeah, this is for other bowling league members.
Crazy.
She says, quote, then Jeffrey asked to use the bathroom. She said that he went into one of the back rooms. I stood up and said, that's not the right room. By the way, she changes her story from her elocution here a little bit, too.
Right.
She said, that's not the right room. He motioned with his hand like, it's okay, don't worry about it. Yeah, I got this. She said that he then returned to the main room, and she asked him to go outside to smoke a cigarette. She asked him what he was doing, and he said that Ruth had money and that he wanted to take it. She said, quote, I said you're not stealing from my great-grandma. Horseshit.
Right. Ruth poked her head out the door and said, step.
Yeah, get out my
I only got one.
Let's go. Let's go, Grandmaster. Move it on that way. So she said that he agreed not to, and they went back inside. Mm-hmm. Then she said that Jeffrey said he needed to use the bathroom because he couldn't find it the first time. But he went in the back and went into another back bedroom. Okay. So he said, I stood up, or Catherine said, I stood up to see where he was going, and then Grandma stood up, they said here. She says, then I heard a thud. He came out walking Grandma down the hall to the living room. I guess Grandma went in the back room to check on him there.
And he pushed her or something.
Yeah. He was saying that he didn't want to go to jail and that things had gone too far. She was backing up toward the chair and he pushed her. She fell down on the side of the chair and grabbed it, trying to get herself up. I said to her that I was sorry, and I told Jeffrey to leave her alone. He kept repeating that he didn't want to go to jail and that things had gone too far. He said then, so she said, oh no, what's going on? This is horrible. Obviously she wants no part of this in her testimony. She then says that Jeffrey ordered her to now he turns into he's the man in charge right now.
Right.
He's the fucking lieutenant now.
The man right here.
That's right. She says that ordered her to go outside and turn the car around because he wanted it facing the road.
Yeah.
So she says, so she did.
Don't kill my grandma. We'll talk about this in a minute. All right, kill my grandma, and then we'll talk about you not killing my grandma.
Yeah, not, okay, great, and then run to the next door neighbor's house, knock on the door, say, call 911. There's a guy killing my fucking grandma in there. Not, okay, go outside and pick up a fucking shovel and come in and whack him in the fucking head with it. Not anything like that. I don't know. Sit in the driveway and stand on the fucking horn till everyone comes out of their house and go, what's going on there? And then go, there's a guy killing my fucking grandma now. Something. I don't know.
That badass pellet gun and shoot him in the fucking face.
Lots of different ways here for this to go. But she chose to do that instead, go out and turn the car around. She said then she walked in through the garage to the house, and she said now she starts crying on the stand too. Big tears. She says that she came in. There was already a cord around her throat, and she was already dead. It was darker color. All this. She said she fell to the floor, and I was crying because I knew my grandma was dead.
Jesus.
I don't know how this jives with him switching gloves with her midway, though. Right. I don't know. Their story is complete. That at? That's what I mean. It's all sorts of, but that's how muddled this is. This is why this is weird. She said he was telling me he wanted to bind her hands and feet with duct tape. He had a bed sheet, and I helped him spread it on the floor. He pulled her by the feet onto the bed sheet and wrapped her up in it. I wasn't doing good, just crying and crying. He then dragged her through the house to the car. That's her fucking story. She said she could hear her thumping down the garage stairs. That's the detail she gives. I wasn't helping is what she's saying.
Oh, what a terrible noise.
But that's her way. That detail is her way of saying, see, because I wasn't carrying the other side because I'm so innocent.
Because I could hear the noise, but I wasn't there.
Exactly. Right. It's one of those things. Meanwhile, the back of her head has no. That's not where shit is.
No.
So her head didn't.
The chest.
Her head didn't bang on anything. Yeah, it's a different story. It's from the initial falls and the initial attacks. So, they said that there was the forensics come into this whole thing in a second. Also, Jeffrey got put in a cell originally. He's in a cell, and a guy gets put in with him who's in with a DUI.
Yeah,
and he sees him. He goes, are you the guy that killed your grandma?
Right.
The guy's like, and Jeffrey told him, no, my girlfriend did, but I was with her. And he's like, can I get the fuck out of this cell?
Are you guys serious right
I had
now?
3 Michelob Ultras. Like, this is fucking asinine. I'm in with this guy? With fucking grandma murder
got
guy?
News coverage. That's why I recognize his face.
Holy shit. Yeah, he recognized him from the news. Like, this is crazy. He's like, God damn it. Other people testify in jail saying that different things. One, that they had a conversation with an inmate. The first conversation that he had with Jeffrey, they were watching television, and Jeffrey asked this inmate if fingerprints could be lifted from clothing or skin. Just out of the blue. Hey, man, do you know if this and this and that? He's like, what? What do I look like here? Who do I look like here?
My name Grissom?
Yeah, I don't think so. So, he says, then he also tells another inmate that he doesn't know what happened at Ruth Witter's house because he blacked out. And when he came to, that was that. When he came to, she was dead and she's getting killed by Catherine. That's how it works.
Such a common fucking defense.
Blacked out.
I don't know. I've got narcolepsy. It happens all the time.
Super weird. Just shuts down. Now, forensics come into this. There's a guy named Gary Veeder.
Yeah.
His job description sounds very important. Trace evidence technician at the New York State Police Forensic Identification Center. So that sounds like an official guy.
Oh, yeah.
He tests the fibers recovered from duct tape and bed sheets and matched them to the black suede gloves. Okay. That's his job. That's the initial forensics that made her plead guilty and, flip on Jeffrey because it looked bad for her. They were like, well, they're on your gloves. Yeah. It's on you. So at this point, you're the lead murderer unless you say it's on him and you switch gloves, and then it's on him. That's the way they worked it. So that they didn't do any other fiber comparison because that's all they needed was that big one. And police, this is what they do, and this is going to sound bad, and it is kind of stupid, but if police find, let's say you test one thing and that's the big piece of evidence, you don't test anything else. No. You're not going to go, because if you test 10 things, maybe 2 of them aren't going to be what you wanted.
Or worse, right? They contradict the big one.
And even if the 8 out of 10 things mean way more than those 2, and it's still clear, a defense attorney will take those 2 things and really make a big thing out of it. So if you test 1 and you're 1 for 1, fucking sold and done.
Goodbye. We only needed one
We're
test.
Fucking out. They don't want to know anything else. Yeah. It's just, it could be bad for you. So generally you don't, and this is just in any contest, you don't do things that make your side weaker. Right. And that goes for defense or prosecution. So they don't do anything like that. They don't test that, and everything comes in, but they do say about the gloves and all that kind of shit. So the verdict comes in here, and obviously, I mean, she testifies like he's there, and it's a pretty damning, vicious testimony.
Hurts,
a woman standing up there sobbing, and then she had a cardigan on and everything. She's sobbing, saying, I could hear the thumping on the garage stairs. Not wonderful.
Full of tissues dabbing her eye.
Oh, she was too. God. I have the picture from the newspaper. She just looks very sad. Jury comes back here. He is found. He is found not guilty of felony murder.
Sweet motherfucker.
Not guilty.
What?
He does separately plead to burglary charges on the other thing.
Oh, yeah.
And also burglary charges for Ruth because of the ring, but not guilty on felony murder charges, acquitted of murder charges completely.
So he pled guilty to stealing her ring?
No. They find him guilty of stealing a ring.
Okay.
He's charged
That's
with
what I mean.
murder and burglary there.
They got him on the burglary.
And he pled to burglary of the bowling alley
But
thing.
they're going not guilty on the murder.
Yep. He had the ring, but Catherine was the one that did it.
Okay.
And they don't, and I don't think they had a lower charge as an option. It was just felony murder or not guilty. And they went with not fucking guilty. So, Catherine, though, she still pled guilty and she's still there. So at this point, it's all her.
Right.
It's all her.
He is the luckiest man alive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely here. So he pleads guilty to second-degree burglary, and he'll end up getting a prison sentence out of that, as we'll talk to.
God, I want to know how those jurors leaned on that.
That's crazy.
How they see her telling that story and then just going, no, it was for sure her.
I don't know. You have to. That's a very convincing case, a very convincing defense. I mean, she must really come across as a shit witness, too. She must come across as cold on the stand. That's all I can imagine, and even that. Jeffrey says, quote, I apologize to God, society, my family, and the victims in the burglary. That's what he says. I was living a foul lifestyle, and I know it was wrong.
Not a word about Ruth.
Not a word about, stealing shit out of cars, killing sweet old ladies, stuff like that.
He's not convicted of the murder, but he's certainly convicted of stealing a ring. How about you say, I'm really sorry that I stole from a woman I knew who was dead.
Or the bowling alley. How about Tom from the alley that was bowling a fucking good game? Screwed up his whole deal.
Night.
Yeah, they stole his regular shoes, Jimmy. He's wearing his bowling shoes. They stole his sneakers. He had a nice pair of New Balances in there. So whatever.
Drive home with those slippery shoes on the pedals.
That's right. It was terrible. He died on the way home, Jimmy. He couldn't brake in time. He actually died on the way home.
Fiery wreck. The pedal.
Couldn't do it. He hot-wired his car and drove away. So
Laura Bush blew a stop sign and T-boned.
Plowed right through him. You know how it goes. So Catherine makes a motion now to withdraw her guilty plea. She's like, can I take that back? Because I shouldn't be the only one since he got away with it. That's bullshit. And they say, no, you can't. You're guilty still. Yeah. You still pled guilty.
It's your word.
Second-degree murder. Sorry about that. She pleads guilty with that. She also pleads guilty to third-degree burglary in connection with the bowling alley robbery.
She was there, too.
She's there, too. Yeah, so they get that. And the judge says, you, ma'am, may fuck off. 20 years in prison.
That's pretty good.
For Catherine on this deal here. Well, she made a deal. That's second-degree murder, so she gets that deal. Her stepmom, who now doesn't even have her father around, I would feel really bad for her father at that point, too. Like, Jesus Christ,
Poor bastard.
Yeah, I'm sorry, okay? I didn't tell her to kill your grandma. Like, Jesus Christ, but he's dead.
Yeah.
So the stepmom says, quote, I feel the loss of my grandmother every day. I want nothing to do with her. I'm done with her, completely done. When they ask if they're going to, are you going to, keep talking to Catherine? Right. And she said, no. She killed my fucking grandma and her dad's dead. So what the fuck would I talk to her for?
Bitch.
Yeah. So she tries to definitely she tries to play the victim in the whole thing here. And she says, this is all Jeffrey manipulating her and she's the victim. And now he's getting away with it, manipulating her even more now. And, it's the DA Murphy says, quote, Ruth was a very elderly woman who was having her great granddaughter and a friend over for a visit, not to be robbed and killed. Whoa. Yeah, no shit. Witter's family looked upon her as a cold and calculated person who manipulated her great grandmother to try and steal jewelry and money. And if she had to sacrifice her life to get those things, that was how it was going to go.
Jesus.
Cold. So
Christ.
No quarter given on that one. He does not like her. So September 7, 2001 is sentenced 4 days before 9/11. So he thinks this is bad. Wait a few days. It's going to be even worse. He's getting sentenced for burglary. And the judge says,
this is a very sad day in September in New York.
Yeah. Well, that's my daughter's birthday, September 7, 2001.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's when she was born.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty funny. That's
we just mentioned that yesterday.
Yeah, Crime and Sports.
How about
the same
that?
thing came up. It's so weird. It's very strange. So he says, the judge says, you, sir, may fuck off. He gets 7 years in prison, but he's going to serve 4. Wow. His lawyer says, quote, he'll be home in 4 years and a couple of months. He'll be doing his 2.5 years post-supervision release.
Through a big toothy smile?
Through a big got away with murder smile. Right. So then, he accepts all of that shit. Originally, they offered him a 15-year sentence for the burglary, and then they offered him 10, and then they offered him 8, and then he ends up with 7. So he held out and got lucky. He got half the sentence he would have here. 2004, Catherine tries to appeal, and on the appeal, she says that she wasn't in the house to commit the crime, so it's a prerequisite for second-degree murder. And but the fact that that little legal wrangling where they had to iron out whether she was in the house unlawfully or not, and she said she was during her plea. Well, that comes up.
Ouch!
That's the reason why That's the reason why they dot the I's and cross the T's on that one to make sure that you can't do that. Right. So they go, no, you said it. You're fucking done. Sorry. So 2005 in February again, there's another appeal. This one's more technical. This is on the grounds that she says the court abused their discretion by denying her to withdraw her plea deal. And they go, no, they were pretty cool with it. It's fine. We're pretty happy with their decision to not let you do that. You fucking suck. So that's fine. She's back in there again. There is a dissenting justice on this appeal saying that they kind of almost like the state set her up is their premise, set her up and then fucked her over and kind of swept her under the rug. But it doesn't matter because that's only a dissenting opinion.
I can see why he would say that, but she fucking pled to try to get out of it, try to get away with it.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
She thought Jeffrey was going to death row.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And she thought she would too, so she was thrilled as fuck probably right before his sentence.
Oh yeah, she thought she was
guilty.
She thought she was going to he's going to get fucking life and all I'm getting is fucking 20. This is great. Yeah, and then she's like,
wait, hold on.
He's going to be out when I'm in here still. So his lawyer, Cheryl Coleman, this is Jeffrey's lawyer, she describes Catherine as, quote, the single most frightening sociopath I've ever met.
God damn.
It's like kind of off the record and not in court. This is to a press person.
That person was almost in the military, James.
And this person is like a public defender.
No, I mean,
and they haven't seen a more frightening sociopath.
Right. And that woman, that sociopath, was almost in the military.
Oh yeah, that's almost an officer in charge of other people.
Right. And like going to war-torn countries and giving orders of what to do.
Oh, fuck that. Just any of her subordinates. Yeah. Jesus, she'd be horrible to people.
As a drill sergeant.
I mean, she'd be sadistic, I think.
Hazing
she'd be
people.
wrong.
Jamming footlockers up your ass.
There you go. What do you think of that, boy?
Is that a jelly donut in there? I'm going to jam the whole thing up your ass.
You're going to sit here and eat it while everyone else does? Okay.
2000 pushes your footlocker.
That's right.
Right up your ass.
So 2007, Jeffrey is released on parole. He's out.
Wow, that was fast.
He's the fuck out of there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he's done. Catherine, not released on parole.
No.
Jeffrey, only a couple months out of prison. He's a fucking idiot. Don't worry, he goes right back. He's convicted of burglary again.
Oh, my God. He didn't fucking learn a lesson?
Well, he did it differently, but dumber somehow.
Yeah.
He broke into a Saratoga Springs restaurant. He broke in through the ceiling, dropped down, landed, all the alarms went off.
Yeah.
And he looked around and saw cameras everywhere and heard the alarms go off and then ran away without stealing anything.
Fuck.
Burglary. Prison.
Thwarted.
Didn't even get even like the mints by the hostess stand. Nothing. Got nothing from this place.
Idiot.
Run in the freezer, grab a steak. You got shit. You didn't get a goddamn thing. So, they convict him of that. They send him back to prison because he's a goddamn idiot.
Right.
Now, May 23rd, 2008, a guy named Gary Veeder hangs himself. Remember that name?
Yeah.
Sound familiar? He's the forensic
gloves
guy.
Yeah.
Gloves guy. He hangs himself in his garage.
Oh, boy.
Why who cares, right?
Yeah.
Who cares if some fucking state nerd hangs himself in his garage? Well, there's a reason why he hung himself in his garage.
Why'd he do it?
He is under huge heat for falsifying tons and tons and tons and tons of casework.
You asshole.
He doesn't even know how to do the shit, basically.
No?
It was, and neither does anybody else in this department. It's fucking crazy. There's a report found substandard work went undetected because the agency wasn't equipped to even review their own work at all either. They
can't even tell that they know how to do it.
The supervisors didn't know how to. The reviewers, the people who were set to oversee other people's work, they didn't know how to do the work either. So nobody knew what they were doing.
What?
So everyone just went, yeah, it's right. That's about right.
This is why you have to have bosses that have the fucking experience, have done the job.
Yeah, they say that he falsified records to conceal his fraudulent work. He was assigned to the Trace Evidence Unit of the State Police's Forensic Investigation Center in Albany that examines, minorly, slightly important things like fibers, arson residue, footwear impressions, glass, hair, and other trace evidence gathered at criminal investigations.
He's got to testify to what it is and what it proves.
You know that whole thing that spawned like 47 fucking television series of just crime scene investigations, and he faked
shows.
All of that shit. Yeah,
all the acronym shows. He started it.
Faked it all.
God damn it!
Didn't know how to do it. He was the guy with the microscope, and he didn't know what the hell he was doing. He was. They said that they found problems in 29% of his 322 cases.
Oh, that's high.
That's 100 cases right there.
A lot.
That's 100 cases. They had to contact the offices of more than 40 district attorneys around the state to tell them you're about to have a real bad fucking week because all those cases you have, all those convictions, they're all going to be appealing now because all of your forensics are fucked. And even the 71% that aren't fucked up, they're tainted too.
Hell yeah.
If he touched it, it's tainted.
Oh boy, is it.
If he knowingly falsified something, didn't just fuck something up by accident, knowingly didn't do something and said he did, you're done. That's it. So all of your cases are suspect now. There's a ton of them here. The report said that he, quote, routinely failed to conduct required tests when examining fiber evidence, then falsely indicated in test records that he had performed the test. Wow. So that is crazy. They did an outside audit and learned that his misconduct, the assertions of that were pushed under the rug because the people didn't know how to even check his work. So it was crazy. The examiner pressed Veeder about a questionable report involving a fiber analysis.
Can you imagine he's like at a golf club and people are like, what are you doing? He's like, you are not going to believe what they pay me to do.
This is crazy. It's nothing.
Anything.
Not a god. I say I do shit. They said when a particular fiber sample they questioned him on, they said, quote, Veeder was unable to explain how he obtained the aberrant result. The assessor also noted that Veeder was unable to articulate or perform basic tasks in fiber analysis, including proper operation of a microscope. A fucking microscope. Are you kidding? He doesn't even know how to work the microscope.
All you do is look in it.
Did you ever watch CSI and all that shit? All they do is look in microscope. He doesn't even know how to fucking use it. This is crazy.
Unreal.
He says, quote, this is how I was trained to do it. This is how we've always done it. They said that he does a practice known as dry labbing. Which sounds like it hurts your butthole.
It does sound.
You gotta trim your pucker brush up for that to get dry labbed. Otherwise, it's really gonna hurt.
It's gonna tear that out.
Yeah, that is basically saying you performed tests that you didn't perform. It's called dry labbing. He also told investigators that he didn't even actually know how to conduct most of the tests that he claimed to have been conducting and performing and having analysis and results for, and instead he would rely on a quote crib sheet that had been provided for him by the prior supervisor of the trace unit. So several people who didn't know what they've been doing have just been passing along a
cheat sheet.
Cliff
notes
and
for
no one knows
crime
how to do
scene
it.
investigation.
Yep. This is how I was trained to do it. This is how we've always done it. We falsified shit. He's accused of falsifying dozens of criminal shit, and so he hangs himself in his fucking garage.
Yeah.
Prosecutor here says, quote, I relied on Gary Veeder without knowing what was discovered by the state inspector general, but like everybody else did. You'd think the guy with all the microscopes would fucking know how to use one, probably. Just a thing here. So, meanwhile, Catherine's still in prison, and he's the guy who examined the fibers on the gloves, which were the only reason why she pled guilty. Right. So now she has an appeal to stand on now.
Yeah,
this is something you
fucked up too, because his theory and his information he brought forth isn't even the story that she told anyway. You know what I mean? It doesn't even it contradicts what she said. Yet it's still going to ruin everything.
Exactly.
That's fucked up.
The whole thing's a disaster. Yeah, it's a mess. This is why dishonesty sucks. So now Jeffrey's back out of prison. St. Patrick's Day 2010. Yeah. He's out drinking in the streets.
That's what they do.
He's out with his friends. Yeah. When a group of his friends get in a dispute, in a big argument with
How many times is he shot?
with a group of other people.
Yeah.
You're getting excited, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. The two groups are separated. Okay. So Jeffrey gets in the passenger seat of his friend's car. His friend gets in the driver's seat. His friend's dad is in the back seat of his friend's Nissan Maxima.
He's the grandmaster in the passenger seat. Let's go, motherfuckers.
Co-pilot. Here we go. Jumps in. They jump on it, peel out, speed out of the parking lot, and plow right into a 27-year-old young man who's in the street.
No.
And kill him instantly. He's dead on the scene.
Oh, God.
27-year-old man named Ryan Rossley is pronounced dead there. You thought I was going to say they pull out in front of a bus and are all
27-foot bus.
Killed in a fire explosion.
It's a 27-year-old innocent man.
Nope. This is one of the guys that they were in a fight with. And apparently this guy, they hit him. He flew over the car, landed in the street, never got up because he hit his head on the street.
Oh, God.
They stopped. The driver stops the car. They told Jeffrey to get out and look and see what's going on with this guy. Jeffrey got out, looked, and said, "Oh, he's getting up. It's fine. Let's go. Let's go.
The grandmaster,
get the fuck out,
motherfucker."
He said that because they had been fighting earlier and shit, he didn't think that guy would even call the cops, because even though they hit him with a car. Because in the movies, you hit a guy with a car and he lands and he brushes his jacket off. He's like, Jesus Christ, that was a pain in the ass. But in real life, when you fly up in the air and then hit your head on concrete, you die because your skull doesn't work like that. So this guy's dead. Now, it's not Jeffrey's fault. He's not driving, but he's so stupid. Somehow he involves himself legally in this in a way that'll get him sent to prison. He decides to try to get the guy's windshield and car fixed to cover the whole thing up, and is charged with evidence tampering.
Idiot.
Fucking complete idiot, because everything's on camera, obviously. He's a moron.
All he had to do was call the cops and say he hit him and I wanted nothing to do with it.
Not a damn thing. It's an accident.
Right.
Because that's what his friend says. His friend was like, it was an accident. I killed him. Jesus Christ. That's how it works. There's witnesses that see this whole thing. I mean, it wasn't like they were going to get away with this at all. They said that there were several physical encounters, and they drove away. The driver of the car said, quote, "I thought somebody threw a boulder at us," where they hit the car. It was actually Ryan Rossley. And then he stopped and said, "We hit somebody," and Jeffrey Hampshire said, go, let's get the hell out of here. And he twirled his baton in the air and he fucking went. So he told him he's getting up. And the guy, this is the driver, he says, quote, "Jeff saw the guy get up, so everything was cool. We figured they're not going to call the police because we had been fighting earlier." So, no harm, no foul. Yeah, sometimes you hit a guy with a car.
When people are injured, you're definitely calling the cops and paramedics.
Nope, this guy does. So this is how this works. This is all for evidence tampering. Now, the problem is, he could, because he's got so many felonies, he could potentially get like 20 years out of this, Jeffrey, because it's like a continuing felonious lifestyle, basically.
It's showing a track record and a pattern of a man not learning a fucking lesson.
He's saying in the press, and his lawyers are saying, that he is going to get an unfair sentence because he didn't get convicted in that murder. So they're saying basically he's going to get OJ'd, where they're going to really bang him on that Vegas thing because he got away with Nicole Kidman. And they did, or Nicole Kidman. Ron Goldman.
You're welcome, Keith Urban, for OJ sparing her life.
I am fucking tired here. This whole thing happens. Jeffrey here his defense attorney is saying that they're going to fuck him over and all this sort of thing. But he ends up being convicted of evidence tampering. He is going to get a 2 to 4 year sentence out of this.
Wow.
That's all he gets. Now, the driver of the car, because he drove away, he ends up getting a manslaughter, and it's a 5 to 15 years sentence for that guy.
That's steep.
It's steep, and he pleads guilty to the whole thing. 5 to 15 years for a guy. It's Travis Carroll is his name. Idiot. And then Jeffrey, though, like I said, gets 2 to 4 years
for changing a windshield.
For changing out a windshield, something he did not have to do. All of his stupidity, it's all self-inflicted. His wounds, everything. His lawyer says that, this is amazing, says that, "I've been defending Jeffrey Hampshire for years." First of all, bad sign.
That's not good.
You know how many times I've gone to trial with this guy? He says that he's defended him a lot in the past, and says that Hampshire is a very different guy now, and he's grown a lot in the years that she's known him. She says, quote, "I'm confident he's never going to do anything nefarious again. Quote, I believe that his serious crimes are over."
Oh, boy.
He's going to kick it down to some light misdemeanors now. Just some
couple of
DUIs.
How many times has a lawyer said about you, I've defended him for years.
Years and years and years. Jesus Christ. So the Rossley family wanted more time for Jeffrey. The mother says, quote, he doesn't learn. He has no moral compass, obviously. Clearly not. I would have to fucking agree with that.
It's spinning.
Yeah, I would say so. And the judge, too, is not happy with Jeffrey. He does say, he says, I could not bring myself to do that as a Class E felony, as sorry as I feel about the Rossley family and everything that happened. He said what he did he didn't kill the guy. So evidence tampering is not going to give a guy 20 years in jail. He just couldn't do it, basically. That's what they were asking for. And he said, can't do it. He's a scumbag, but we got to keep busting him. Maybe next time, basically. And the mother says, I guess justice has been served as much as it can be, which is fine. As long as she's not upset about it here. So Catherine is appealing May of 2011. This is her appeal for Gary Veeder dying, saying, what the fuck? The guy doesn't even know how to do anything. She's got a point here. She's got a point on this appeal.
Yeah, I'm certainly on her side.
No one can argue. Yeah, no one can argue this one, even though we fucking hate her because she killed her goddamn great-grandmother, which totally sucks.
I'm just saying, if I'm in her shoes, I hope that I get some leniency, too, because the state's got no case.
Yeah, you can't convict people on bullshit. That's true. But she definitely did it, so that's what sucks. They said her lawyer, or the judge here, says the existence of the forensic evidence, or the forensic report, appears to have been the deciding factor in the decision to plead guilty rather than go to trial. Her conviction is set aside for now. Now the DA says that they might try her again. Let's see. Maybe we'll try her again. Maybe we'll get her for life this time.
Right.
Who knows? We'll see. There's a delay.
We're gonna try her for the first time because she pled last time.
That's the thing. Maybe we can try her since they set aside the conviction. Right. But now they have no forensic evidence. That was their main thing. So now they have no forensic evidence. They have. Jeffrey's not going to testify on there for them against her. He wants nothing to do with it. All they have is her going, I didn't do shit now. And, she's saying my testimony was based on forensic evidence. It's bullshit. So it's very murky. So they don't know what to do here. She's in court, by the way. Now she's saying how religious she is all of a sudden.
Of course she is.
Only in court, though, no other time.
No.
She says, quote, I'm sorry for all my actions and inactions which contributed to all of your pain and suffering. I offer this to you not as an excuse, but as an explanation as to the questions you've had for all these years, saying that she was a part of it. She says that, this is amazing. She says that I would not be able to go. Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry. In 2000, she said, I was a naive little 18-year-old girl. That's what she says.
No, you weren't.
No, you weren't. And the judge says, you, ma'am, may fuck off again. 14 and a half years. But time served is a problem. Out of a 14 and a half year sentence, she's already served, 11, which is way more than she should serve for a 14-year sentence. So she's basically already done.
God damn it.
She will be released in July. That's in May of 2012, and she's going to be released in July with time served. While she's been in prison, her mother just died recently as well as her father. Again, shame, I'm sure.
Both parents are dead.
Both parents are dead. Like I said, and it's all her fucking... I mean, she didn't get to see him. It's her fucking fault. She shouldn't be killing her goddamn grandmother. I have no sympathy for her whatsoever. No. I hate what the state did with the evidence, but you killed an old lady. Like, I don't have any sympathy for you at all.
In furtherance of the crime, we caused her death.
Yeah, old ladies and kids. Fuck off. I don't care what you did.
Shitbag.
So she gets out on parole, and the parole program, there is a post-release program that oversees her and helps her find housing and everything like that. She gets involved in some kind of program. She is moved. They move her because she's got to get out of this area.
Yeah,
everyone knows who she is in this area.
Fuck yes.
Aren't you that lady who killed her grandma?
Hey,
you're
how are you?
an asshole. Yeah. Not okay.
My name's Catherine. Catherine what?
Oh, no.
Oh, boy,
Grandma
not you.
Killer Sieber. Okay, I know that one. So they move her down to Astoria, Queens, where she gets a job at an electric company as an office manager, and she just kind of starts her life over, gets an apartment down there. Starts over.
No grandma killing.
No grandma killing. Everything's fine.
Gotcha.
Never, like it never happened.
Clean slate.
She she starts dating.
Yeah.
She finds a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And no, dead serious here. A guy named Pedro Sanchez.
Yeah.
She finds. I know where you're going.
The girl from Idaho, where Napoleon Dynamite was filmed, and she's dating Pedro Sanchez.
Pedro Sanchez.
Wonderful.
She goes with, which is pretty hilarious.
She didn't even get to see that movie, and yet this still worked out.
She's like, what now? Why is this funny? Why is everyone laughing at me all
Why
the
does
time?
everybody say that?
This is so stupid. Why? So
why does everybody ask about his hair? This is so strange.
So she's out of prison.
Yeah.
She is, new job, new life, never happened, hasn't killed anybody, but God damn it, she's such an asshole. You got to root against her. So she's going out with this Pedro Sanchez guy. They're together for about 10 months.
Yeah.
One day, they get in an argument over she thinks he's seeing somebody else and he thinks she's seeing somebody else. And so they get in an argument with each other and he stabs her 100 times in the face. 100 times in the face.
Fuck yes.
You grandma-killing asshole.
Vote for Pedro.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I understand what we're saying here. Listen to me. We are the most against domestic violence ever. We have found literally how many billions of trillions of people have lived on this earth?
Yeah.
We've found the one time in the history of humankind where domestic violence works.
It did it. It solved the problem.
One time and only time. It'll never happen again. 5,000 years from now, it'll never happen again.
Yeah.
This is the only time where everyone goes, yeah, okay.
All right. I hope he goes to jail. But Jesus Christ, he did the right thing.
That's what I mean. Now, to say this, we have done this as a live show a few times, this case, and every single time without fail, the entire crowd erupts in applause. She got stabbed in the face 100 times. Right. And there's a crowd of 70% women who are like, yay, domestic violence, fuck that. That's how much of an asshole she is. They're like, I'm glad her boyfriend stabbed her in the face.
She gives us a bad name.
It's crazy. That's how much of a dick she is. And she's so hateable for killing her fucking old lady. She's just hateable.
Oh, it feels so good.
So yeah, he kills her 100 times. She's dead. 100 times in the face and torso with a kitchen knife.
Oh,
just
Jesus.
Literally, they were in an argument. He grabbed a knife out of the block and just started hacking away at it.
She chopped a green pepper with that.
Yeah,
and then it sunk in her face.
Done all over it 100 times. So this happened. The last she's seen about noon is the last she's seen, and then about 5 o'clock, one of the neighbors says they hadn't seen her, but they do see Pedro come in and out of the apartment quickly, or out of the apartment, then back into the apartment, covered in blood. I mean, to the elbows, covered in blood all over his shirt.
Like you would be if one stabs somebody 100 fucking
times. As it happens. So this guy, the person who sees this, the neighbor, goes over, looks in their apartment window, and sees Pedro sees Catherine's corpse and seas of blood, and Pedro cleaning up puddles of blood, washing a knife, trying to wash blood off himself, the whole deal. And this person just starts filming it with their phone through the window, because this is 2012 here. So
world star.
They're just filming. So Pedro ends up coming out with garbage bags full of shit to throw out and finds the person filming. So now this person's standing there filming him, covered to the elbows in blood with these bloody bags. Pedro drops the bags, punches this guy in the fucking face, snatches his cell phone, and runs away. Okay?
Yeah.
Fucking runs away. All right? Yeah. It is at that exact moment of contact of bone on bone that a police officer just walking his beat turns the corner and watches a man
spinning a baton
covered in blood up to his elbows, drop 2 bloody garbage bags, punch a person in the face, take their cell phone and run away. So, this is go time for a cop. This is this is what they're trained to do here. This is their World Series. So he fucking chases Pedro down the street, eventually catches him, tackles him, cuffs him up, and takes the evidence of the cell phone out of his hand and all that kind of shit. Pedro is arrested and charged with all sorts of murder.
Wow.
He's definitely arrested here. 2nd-degree murder, 3rd-degree robbery, criminal possession of a weapon, tampering with physical evidence, criminal possession of stolen property, and of course resisting arrest.
Yeah. Surprised he didn't have a bike with some sweet pegs.
Oh, that would have. I hate that fucking movie. So, he ends up, he's going to be in prison or an institution or something, because he's not right in the fucking head, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Now, they talked to Catherine's boss at work, and Catherine's boss said, quote, she told me she was having some problems with him. The understatement of the year. And then the boss also said, quote, I said, be careful. There's a lot of weird people out there.
There are.
And yes, they discovered one.
She is one of them.
The DA Murphy, that guy, fucking this guy, holy shit. He ends up saying, quote, it's sad, especially in her context, but I can't say I'm surprised. She was troubled her whole life.
He's not sad.
Not even surprised, just not troubled her whole life.
Stab in the face? That girl?
Complete fuck up.
I could see it.
I saw it when she was a teenager. I said, someone's going to stab her 100 times in the face someday. I mean, I wish I could do it, but I can't, obviously. So, yeah, that's how it works there. Ruth is dead. Gary Veter's dead. Catherine Sieber's dead. Jeffrey Hampshire might as well be dead. Yeah. Let's face it. He's never going to go more than a couple of years without being in prison.
He may not be dead, but his future, it's fucking on life support.
At some point, he's going to do something that's going to put him in for a good amount of time, and hopefully it won't be something that's on anybody else.
Right?
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be a property thing, or he'll burn down an abandoned structure that'll get him some time or something.
And one of the rafters falls and blocks the door.
And he can't get out. That'd be wonderful. He just burns up. Jesus. Catherine's buried in Idaho, which is like being murdered twice.
Shit.
That's definitely two deaths to be buried in Rexburg, Idaho. She's buried next to her mom, though, she has the same, they share a tombstone with her mom, which you don't want to do at that age. That's not great. But the Murphy guy, the DA, who says, troubled her whole life, he becomes a judge, for Christ's sake.
Really?
Yeah, he became a judge, which I find interesting. But the most interesting thing out of all this is, we always do this, and we never, on Crime and Sports, we never do this here, but I found somebody that is, I feel so bad for this fucking person. Her name, it's on LinkedIn. Her name is Catherine Sieber, this poor woman. She looks sort of like Catherine Sieber, like the same type of look.
Same face.
Office manager at an electric company in Astoria, Queens.
No.
I mean, she comes right up. She fits every parameter. The only reason it's not her is because this woman went to a college and Catherine didn't, and she's alive.
That'll change
That's
things
the other
dramatically.
thing. And otherwise, that is it.
Unless that person is an identity thief.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is Stillwater, New York, everybody.
Wowza.
We told you there was a twist at the end. I hope you didn't
a story.
Turn it off for before that. But that's the twist. Hope you enjoyed that story. Mm-hmm. If you did, I think I have an idea of how you can tell us about it.
James, that is the best story that we've done.
It's one of them. It's got everything.
In terms of riveting, fascinating,
start to finish. T to B, babe.
Everything.
Top to bottom. It's got it all. It starts out with a dead body and ends with a fucking stabbing and a police chase and Benny Hill music playing his fucking.
It's terrible, and I wish it didn't happen.
Yeah,
but it's riveting.
That cop. Yakety Sax came on when that cop started chasing him.
If not like
they ran around in a circle twice in the street.
If not the opening to like 21 Jump Street.
Something, yeah. It's fucking.
If it wasn't
sad.
something hyping him up, it was certainly something making fun of the whole situation.
Christ. So yeah, if you like that, get on Apple Podcasts. That purple icon. Let us know about it. Give us 5 stars. Tell us you're following instructions. Tell them these guys are forcing me to. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. Also, those reviews help a lot on Stitcher too. Yeah. They help drive us up the charts, which is really important. That's kind of your currency as a podcaster, as your chart position, and that's how people look at you for your whatever advertisers and everything else. It really helps us. So you can help us a lot by doing that. And head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your small town murder and crime and sports needs. And listen to Crime and Sports if you're not listening to it. We are in a golden time of crime and sports right now.
It's awesome.
Amazing stuff. It's coming out. They're just so good. And this week, if you like murder, we have a murder story for you this week. It's crazy. Check it out. Brain damage sports, murder, drugs, craziness, all sorts of wildness there. So check that out. And also get your merchandise and get your code for your promo code for the pre-sale to get your goddamn tickets. Because tickets, guys, if it's Thursday and you're listening, tickets are on sale. If it's 10 o'clock a.m. or later in your local area, then your tickets are on sale. And you can go get them right now. Pre-sale tickets. You just need to go to shutupandgivememurder.com/live to get the promo code, or you can go over to our social media and get it there. But we'll tell you now anyway. Yeah. Promo code is Puckerbrush.
There you go.
Not case sensitive.
Right.
So whatever you want to do, Puckerbrush. There you go. Everyone knows how to spell Puckerbrush. One word. So enjoy that. Pre-sale will go on sale today. It's a one-day pre-sale. The on-sale for everybody is going to be Friday, December the 13th. On sale for everybody. Total, everyone can buy tickets at any point. No promo code. No holds barred. Right. No holds barred.
Go get them.
Let's do it. So we have that. Get your goddamn tickets, and we have the full list for you right now. Yes. There is a couple that are going to be missing off of this list that we are going to get. Like, there's no Phoenix show on here.
Not yet.
There's going to be 2 Phoenix shows. Right. We're going to have a crime and sports and a small town murder in 2020 in Phoenix. That's just, it's our local market. We book it differently with the guy. It's very easy for us to book those.
They love us.
It's a different thing. We've been going, that's our home club. So, I mean, we don't have to worry about a big schedule.
It's a mutual love.
Yes, we love them. They love us. Yeah. It's wonderful.
Casey,
so,
thank you.
Casey Curry, you're the best goddamn. He should teach lessons. I want to get every venue we go to, even if it's a good venue, I want to take the manager in a headlock and make him watch Casey for a week. Go.
Not even a mean one, just a friendly headlock. You don't move. Watch him.
Right. He's doing it right.
When he threatens firing, listen to why.
Yeah. If you go to a comedy club in Phoenix, it will be run correctly. Right. We promise you that. Or at least the 3 he has a goddamn hand in. It will be run properly, or else he will have someone's ass. We guarantee you that shit.
If he doesn't have their ass, he'll
just have their job.
Be holding their last paycheck.
Yeah, he'll be having their job is what he'll be having.
Fuck out of here.
And that's how it works. Yeah. But here is the list of cities and dates. And also there's a couple, I think Kansas City and St. Louis aren't in here, but we are going to Kansas City and St. Louis. They're just working out the venue at the moment. So we'll get back to you with those. Those will be on sale very shortly. Kansas City and St. Louis. And we'll add probably a couple more we'll sprinkle in. But here's the basic list. February 7th, Denver, Colorado, Oriental Theater. February 8th, Salt Lake City, the Depot. February 15th, Indianapolis, Indiana at the Egyptian. Holy shit, we're going to Indiana. February 16th, Louisville, Kentucky. Fucking Hunter Thompson, Muhammad Ali, Jim Cornette. Wonderful place. There, March 13th and 14th, we're in San Francisco. Both nights at Cobb's Comedy Theater there. And we're going to do it's a Friday and Saturday night. We're going to do the late show both nights. So come party with us fucking late night, man. Jimmie will be already drinking like crazy.
Hammered.
I'll have come from a weed lounge. Yeah. Definitely.
Wait, you'll have what?
Have come from the weed lounge.
Oh, I will be. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I was like, you're going to go get cum at the weed.
I enjoy Mo Green's there. It's a very fucking nice establishment that I like to visit in San Francisco. I'll be spending evenings there.
Have cum.
I'll be in residence there.
From the green.
I'll have come from there.
All right.
That's how I get
there. You're saying it in a fancy way.
March, a correct way.
Yes.
March 27th in Detroit, Michigan. March 28th and 29th will be at Bogart's in Cincinnati. Both 2 nights there. 7th and 8th in Nashville, Zanies. That's Crime and Sports and Small Town Murder. Both of those are sold out. May 8th in Austin, Texas. May 9th in Oklahoma City. May 22nd at the Wilbur in Boston again. Back there.
One of the best.
Very excited to come back to Boston. May 23rd in Brooklyn at Murmur in New York there. So we're going to have a blast there. Love coming back to New York as always. June 5th in Seattle, Washington, back at the Neptune, which is a great theater. June 6th and 7th in Portland at the Aladdin there. July 31st will be in New Orleans.
Yes.
New city alert. Woo,
Never
woo,
been.
Never been to New Orleans. We'll be in New Orleans on July 3rd in the middle of humidity.
Hell yeah.
Wonderful. That's great. Fucking wow.
Bring your hurricanes.
August 1st in Atlanta. Jesus Christ. Back at the Buckhead. It's a wonderful theater, though, with very strong air conditioning, so you can make your way in there. August 14th, San Jose, California at the Improv there. August 15th, back in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Again, September 11th, we are in...
where are we at in Sacramento? Because
Ace of Spades.
Yeah, it's a little club there.
Yeah.
Little rock venue.
September 11th, we will be in Tampa, Florida at the Tampa Improv doing 2 shows that night. And then the next night, September 12th, Orlando at the Orlando Improv.
How many?
2 shows that night. And they will be different shows. Everybody, if it's the city next to you, it's going to be a different show. Like Texas, where we have San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, Houston, those are going to be 4 different shows.
Great.
But the show in Oklahoma City will be one of those 4 shows.
Got it.
So if you go to all 4 of those shows and the one in Oklahoma City, you're going to see one of the same show twice. So don't complain, is all I'm saying. We're going to have 4 shows we're going to rotate and keep them basically so try to not make anything near anybody be the same. That's how we're going to work this thing.
I like it.
So, that's how that works. San Diego, September 25th. L.A., we're going to be in Brea at the Brea Improv, September 27th. L.A. somewhere, September 26th. We don't know the venue yet. October 9th, Washington, actually, it's not D.C., it's Silver Spring, Maryland.
That's right.
Silver Spring at the Fillmore, where we were first time. The first time, it's a great venue.
It is.
Way nicer than the other one. The 930 Club's beautiful, but it's more of a pain to get to.
Right.
Silver Spring's out in the burbs. Fillmore. It's easy to get to. 930 Club's beautiful. Don't we weren't disparaging. No. It's a nice place. Philadelphia, fuck yeah, October 10th. Back in Philly at the Fillmore there again. We had a great time there last year, or fucking a month ago. October 22nd in San Antonio. Yeah. October 24th in Dallas. October 25th in Houston, back at the Houston Improv. We will be at the Majestic in Dallas, which is fucking huge. So please buy your Dallas tickets up, because we got to sell that bad boy.
It's going to be a big deal.
Milwaukee on November 6th. Let's go to Milwaukee. Let's go to Wisconsin in November and fucking New Orleans in July, everybody. Let's do this. We are in Wisconsin, Milwaukee at the Pabst, which is another big theater there. And November 7th, we're in Madison. Coming to Madison, new place at the Barrymore Theater there. November 7th. November 19th, Munhall, PA, which is Pittsburgh.
Right.
There will be, we're going to be at a theater, Carnegie of Homestead Music Hall, I guess it's called. That's going to be a bigger place.
Carnegie. I like
we loved Pittsburgh. Great crowd. Can't wait. November 20th in Cleveland at Hilarity. Somehow we got fucking back in Cleveland. I don't know how they talked us into that. That was not voluntary. November 21st in Columbus at the Davidson. I think that's where we were last time.
Yeah, we were.
Gorgeous theater there. We'll be at Hilarities in Cleveland. Governor right upstairs. December 4th in Minneapolis, because that's when you want to go to Minnesota.
Yes.
But we don't give a shit, because those people are so fucking nice.
Yeah.
And they're happy when you're there in the cold. So we can't wait to see you back at the Pantages like we were last year. Beautiful theater. We had a great time there. Finally, rounding out December 5th, we will be in Chicago, Illinois. We always close our shit out in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's kind of our adopted second hometown. And
what about one unannounced so far with two cities, Jay?
That is going to be, we don't know what weekend it is, but that's going to be Kansas City, St. Louis.
There you go.
And bigger and better venues than last time. Kansas City, we're not sure which it's going to be.
Kansas City was great.
That was great. The Improv was fantastic. St. Louis will be a better venue, we swear to God, because people's fucking nutsacks were on mantles after that. Trust me. Fucking trust me. Believe me. We do not deal with venues we don't care for very much. We light them up bad.
Somebody that didn't matter to the entire venue called me the little one.
Yeah, so, that's how that works.
Thank you.
Yeah, fuck that place. So come out and see us. Also, guys, if you have questions for us, you got to imagine we're releasing this. We have a good amount of listeners and a lot of people on social media. Can you just think back? Imagine the dumb questions people are going to ask us on social media. Think about that. Yeah. Now, when you ask your question, just think, is this a dumb question? I'm serious, because Sarah's got a field all of these. And so let's just, like today, somebody asked, do you have a show in this city? It's on the list, on the post of the fucking thing. And we want you to come, but you have to at least have enough initiative to read a list. Yeah. You can't just go, do you have it? And then she said, yes, we're at this theater. And then they said, what date? How about look up at the list again? But I mean, I get it. I don't get mad, but it's,
what time?
Just look at the list and try to figure it out on your own for like 2 minutes.
James?
Yeah. Try to figure it out on your own for a couple minutes.
Wait, how do I get there?
The reason that I say this is because the dumb questions like that, they clog up the works. And then questions that you actually can't find the answer to unless we tell you, they don't get found because it's in a bunch of, are you at this city, when it's on a list?
You're not telling me if the bridge is under construction.
That's what I mean. We're a community. We're a community. Yeah. Let's fucking be a community and not ask questions that don't need to be asked and save it for people who do need it. If you have a little cut on your finger, just put a Band-Aid on it. There's people with gunshot wounds. You don't need to be in the emergency room. That's all we're saying.
Stop dripping blood everywhere. Yeah, it's inconvenient.
That's it. Otherwise, no. We're happy to talk to you, and we're excited that you come to the show. We can't wait for all those shows. We're very excited. And that said, also, you can go, if you want to be one of our producers, because we have to give our shout-outs here, our list of our favorite people ever, our producers. If you want to be one of our producers, one of these wonderful people, you can do that very easily by going over to patreon.com/crimeandsports, or head over to PayPal and use our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com, and you can find both of those links right from shutupandgivememurder.com. And we are just blown away by every cent that is received, and it means a lot to us. We know it just means it's like a personal endorsement.
Right.
It means the world to us that you would care and go out of your way.
It's you telling us that we're okay.
When it's free and you don't have to. So that's just fucking amazing. So thank you very much, and we love you for that. And we have a list of these fine people. Jimmie, you know what? I need that list. Give me the list now. Fucking hit me with it like a Toyota Corolla out of a parking lot.
This week's executive producers are Nilu Rafsanjani, Tanya Volanek, Robin Bell Reed, and it's Rob Manrahan and Bell Reed. They were the ones from Australia that came to the show that missed the meet and greet because the
ridiculous.
But the whatever, you get the point.
We were not told that you were there. Put it that way. If you were, trust me, if someone crosses a fucking ocean to see us, we'll talk to them.
I got no problem saying hello.
Super happy. We'll go out of our way to go find you and bring you in.
I've done it twice.
No one fucking asked us that. Can you imagine somebody coming up and going, hey, we have two people. They flew all the way from Australia. Will you talk to them? Us going, fuck no.
Did they buy a meet and greet? We got places to be.
No. We had nowhere to go. We were fine. We would have absolutely done that.
The rest of the executive producers are Brielle Chapman. I think that's Chapman. It is. Gary Howard, Kristen Parker, Kyle Carson, Michelle Ann Gant, Sabrina Crawford, Casey damn it, Casey. I'm a terrible writer, and your last name is Tompton. That's it. T-O-M-T-E-N. Jordan Bennett, Jana Gilbertson, and Andrew Hertig. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Bob Holscher was supposed to be at our Chicago show, and he passed away.
No.
And did not make it. But
that's terrible.
Faisal wanted us to say hello. So sorry, Bob.
Yeah,
do we say that? I don't know what to say.
I don't know.
We miss you.
It sucks that Bob died.
Yeah,
that's what
I wish we would have been able to meet you, Bob.
Yeah.
And he loved the show. He was a big fan. Darren Mihal and Jessica Soap celebrated their 1-year anniversary, and they met through our show.
That's amazing.
Congratulations, you two. And they came up from Florida. So
cool. Thanks
for coming to the show. Jesse Hartman, Emily Smith, Monica Lee Wolfenberger, Anthony Canella, Purple Carrot Designs, Jen Snedecker, Tracy Renninger, Stephen Rude, Gail Smith, Jessica Christensen. They're the ones that had the daughter Joey. Joey, I got to give it to you too. Yeah. I got to show it to you. Joey made us a thank you card.
Oh, that's so cool
for us telling her.
I can't wait
for sending her. We sent her a message, right?
Yeah,
a video.
We were talking,
and we talked to her on the show.
Yeah,
I don't remember how we did that, but we talked about it on the show.
We cared.
Yeah,
I know we gave a shit.
And
Joey
she sent us a little card. That was
That's
nice.
so nice.
Trina McElroy, Sonny Johansson, Lauren Demarath, Shy Moon, Liz Krajewski, Deanna Grimes, Andrea Webster, Caitlin Williams, Peyton Meadows, Mark Foster, Joshua Jean, Liz Vasquez, who got ripped off and still made the show because of Gary Howard.
Hey, cool. Thank you. Yeah, and thanks, Gary, too.
Absolutely. Kelly Higby, Barbara Drabino, Drabina, Nick's father. I think that's what that was. I believe so. Nate Ward, James Martyr, Emily Irvin, Alicia Wangelin. Yep, Mark Davis, Janet Cunningham, Ashley with no last name, who said that she was looking forward to my shout out specific for her, that her last name's really easy, and then she didn't
put it.
Provide it.
It's just that's really easy.
Jimmie, pronounce my last name. I'm not going to tell you what it is. So now I have to guess. It's Ashley Smith or Ashley Norton? Probably Norton. I'm guessing.
Well, thank you, Ashley.
Janet Cunningham. Mark Davis has said that. Reagan Shalkley, Taureen Moore, Lacey M, Lisa Ramos, Thomas Smith, Anthony Perez, Jeremiah Manchester, Susanna Platt, Cohen McPherson, Trent Holloman, Sharon Schmidt, Emma Pippinger, Paul Ruest, Brian Case, Ronnie Kumar, Linda, Mary, with no last name, obviously, Mary Marler, Krista Walker, Tabitha Colwell, Liz Baum, Tyler Gwill, NAMC 775. I don't know.
All right.
But thank
you.
I doubt their mom named them that. Trent Ellis, Jeremy Bethune, he donated twice, both ways. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ron Bosch, Bosch, B-O-S-C-H, like the fucking
Bosch.
windshield wipers and the German stuff.
Yeah.
Sonia Smith, Angela Hewer, Alexis with no last name, Matthew Shannon, Benjamin Langlowis, Matt Jason, Mark Erickson, Erickson, Tyler Sheldon, Rex Salisbury, Noah Del Duca, Jody Porter, Stephen Southward, Sam and Wendy Stockard, Jessica Smith, Abdul Jan, Amanda Knight, Catherine Moses, Rosie Mitchell, Amber Elizabeth, Ava Hahn. Is it Ava? It is Ava Hahn. Corey Kano, Kimberly Walsh, Steve Brown. That's Brown. Hey. Damn it. Greta Triber, Nadia Lee, Michelle Wallace, Rachel Hitchcock, Ava Payne, Neely Niels. Jesus. Oh. Neely Niels. She sure does. What the shit? Melanie Kelly, Kimberly J, Brian Case, Casey Parkers, Jen Sievers, Kimberly Walsh. Did I say that like 7 times?
I don't know. Well, thank you, Kimberly Walsh.
Kristen Tracy, Lauren Schulte. Yeah. Travis Mays, James Pearson, Tracy Donovan, Melinda Klug, Amanda Knight, Jason Dingus, Harold Testes Jr. Probably not.
Maybe not.
They got me,
Possibly.
though. They got me to say it, so good for you. Eric Kuhn, Courtney Anemone? No. Anemone. Right? I think.
I don't fucking know.
Mike Ingram, Janet Cross Drennan, Amanda Webb, Sarah West, Liz Brunner, Jennifer King, Celia Stevens, Jillian Elizabeth, Heather Matt Kinnan, Sharon Harvey, shit, Jason O'Hearn, Matthew LaRose, Caitlin Hanrahan, Shauna Hensley, Kirsten with no last name, Amy Price, Moira Bassich, Basic? She's not basic.
No.
I wouldn't call her that.
Hell no.
Probably Basic. Courtney Lampshire, Brian Riley, Brielle Douthright, Aaron Switzer, Adam Roberts, Cameron Woodward, Gordon Bennett, David Smart, Sarah Thompson, Ashley Baxter, Yaviani Lorenzo, John Hackstein, yep, Jennifer Thompson, fuck, Will Broning, Adam, so many Adams that I've called Amber, Adam Schneider, Ryan Hansen, Nico Esparza, Kurt Johnson, Michael Myers, the masked serial killer is
Sweet.
what the thing said. It's probably not.
He does one good thing with himself, then. Give us money. Thank you.
Destiny Burns, Jess Eidson, and all of our Patreon supporters. You guys do amazing things for us. We wish we could say more than just thank you.
Thank you, folks, so much for everything you do for us. Honestly, man, that list is awesome, and it's a daunting one. We're just blown away by it. Thank you so much for that. What if people wanted to get a hold of you and ask you a stupid question, Jimmy? How could they do it?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat. And I don't care. I do my best to answer, and I do my best not to be sarcastic. Sometimes you're going to get some sarcasm, but for the most part, I'm going to be honest with you and give you what I can. In terms of helping, but do not ask me how to get to a venue. Don't ask me if you're going to a city that's out of the way that you have never been to before and you're coming to see our show. Don't ask me where to eat because I don't fucking live there either.
I don't know.
But I will see you there, and thank you all so much for coming to these last shows, and more than that, the people that came to like multiple shows.
That's insane. Thank you guys.
And you saw sometimes the same show twice, and you guys
different
were
cities and
so nice and so great, and told me new things that you'd heard or new things that you found in the shows, and you loved it too. And I loved it. So thanks for coming, and I'll see you guys this time around too. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Jimmy P is Funny, or just copy and paste my last name from the show description, and you can find me that way. And if you ask me dumb questions, I will be sarcastic. Someone tweeted, "Are you guys coming to Little Rock?" Nope. That's a one-word answer. No. Next year? Nope. Not then either. When? Never.
No.
That's the fucking answer. Never. I'm never coming to Little Rock if it's voluntary. When I will be taking Little Rock is if I'm charged with a federal crime and there's a prison there that I'm forced to stay in. That's when I'll spend time in Little Rock.
Or the
Why?
governor is
I've been to Little Rock. It's a fucking shithole and I don't go there voluntarily.
Or the governor is a huge fan and would love us to do a small town murder in his living room for, I don't know, $15 million.
Maybe. And it depends on who the governor is and what his policies are about, because I'm a dick like that, and the whole show will be about what a cunt he is.
I'll come. come down. I'll do the show, and then I'll give James out.
But do that. Come and see us, though, honestly, and hit us up on social media. We're happy to answer stuff. Just honestly, think about your question. Don't clog up the pipes. Don't clog up the shit pipes, everybody. Right. That said, holy shit.
We have a great community that we've built. Like
you guys are awesome.
In Chicago, was it Chicago or Milwaukee, where the guy put money down at the bar and then was like, I don't want change,
Milwaukee.
just use it. Yeah.
It was Milwaukee.
Just use it for the people behind me. Somebody
just
next
put $100 down and just...
They threw money down and were like, yes, use it for the people behind us.
Yeah. There was
everybody coming up kept putting money down.
People were just getting all...
and buying
amazing.
drinks for everybody.
It was awesome.
That's the community we've built.
Yeah.
Be a part of that community.
It's fucking great.
And
that's what the live shows are like,
too. It's so amazing.
They're fun. It's not just like you in a box watching a thing. It's a community. You're in it, man. And right from the beginning, when everyone shouts, shut up and give me murder at the same time at the fucking top of their lungs, we're all a team.
It's unreal, the camaraderie that we've built. Let's keep it going through 2020. I
love it.
That's how that date goes, right?
Fuck yeah.
All right. 2020, 2000, whatever it is.
I love it. With that said, until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus